I'm looking at my levels over there.
And they look good. Your levels are giving you thumbs up.
It's getting a little yellow, so I might lean over and crank that baby down. But you know,
I was filming today with the Sony A7 III, and they don't give you colors on the levels. It's just green.
Oh,
and I was annoyed.
That sounds bad.
I know.
My camera, I literally bought the zoom not specifically, but partially so I could like output it into the camera and just not have to, you know.
Yeah.
Like get my mic audio into the camera. Yep. My camera, even like with the line out and at the max setting, when the zoom peaks, the camera doesn't peak. It always peaks at like around like the edge of yellow.
Never works. Yeah.
It's so so now I just still have to look at the zoom to see if I'm peaking and check my levels because like I don't trust anything anymore.
Yeah. And now I was using a monitor with the Sony, and the monitor was peaking all the time. And I was scared.
It's just the gain was really high on the
monitor. Must have been or something. It's this problem when you have too many like places to change audio that it's like I just want one. I want to adjust it once and then be good. But no.
Yeah, I get you. Anyway, hey everybody, welcome to Fanboy Talk. Welcome. I'm Troy Boy 17. I'm joined by co-host Mithi. I thought I was going to be more professional about this.
You're like, I'm a to Mithi.
I was caught kind of off guard because I was told we do this at 9 p.m. And I'm like, and I was like, oh shit, I got to finish editing. And then you texted me at 8. I was like, oh, okay, I guess we'll do it now.
I know, sorry.
So I still got to eat. I'm still eating.
Eat food. Go ahead.
This is an ASMR mouth sounds podcast.
Is it ramen?
It is ramen.
It's ramen. It looks like good ramen.
It's not good ramen. I think I didn't put enough water in there.
No water in ramen. I don't do
dry ramen?
I put water in it, but I wait till like most of the water is gone. I can't do microwave ramen.
You can't?
No, I have to do
stuff. Yeah, we've had this debate. This was the first fight we ever had.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Because I would listen to your videos while cooking ramen.
Yeah,
I would always do it on the stovetop because I don't like the microwave. The microwave sucks. Too much water. We can't do that. No, not in my house.
Well, you can pour out the water of the
protect this house. Under Armour.
Okay, I think we have different definitions of ramen because when I think of ramen, I think of the packet, like the square blocks.
Yeah.
And I think you're thinking of the cups and that microwave those blocks.
No. I'm talking about the blocks. I think we've had this conversation too.
We've also had this conversation. It's all coming full circle. Yeah, we all say the same thing. We're running out of content, everybody.
We are.
On our weekly weekly podcast Fanboy Talk.
If we were weekly, we would have ended 2 months ago, 3 months ago. 1 year ago, we would have ended 1 year ago because we would have ran out of content and we would have been tired. We would have been so tired that we would have been
I just remember when we started this thing and we were doing like clickbaity titles for every episode of who's gonna die in Spider-Man No Way Home. We were really trying to play up the that era.
Hey, I spent an hour working on that thumbnail in Google Drawings, but I did spend an hour.
Yeah,
because it was.
That's another thing too. The Google Drawings thumbnails.
To be fair, that hasn't changed.
That hasn't. That's never.
Then it made me gay was the title of our second.
That was
podcast.
A good one though. That was a great one.
That was a good one.
I think the funny ones are good. It was always the ones where it's like top 10 things about Spider-Man No Way Home trailer explode. We never did that, but we were really close.
We did. Who's gonna die in Spider-Man No Way Home?
That's the one I'm thinking of the most.
Yeah. Yep. Ants.
Ant-Man. That's the best thing.
Yeah.
Not just the best thing to come out of the Ant-Man franchise. That is the best thing to come out of the MCU.
MCU, yeah.
That's the best thing to come out of superhero movies as a whole. That's better than Batman. It better be.
Yeah.
I think it's canon.
They were just looking out into the void and doing that just to an audience.
Oh God. Do you like the first Ant-Man movie?
I don't mind it. It's low on my tier list. Then again, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is low on my tier list. I didn't like that movie as much as everyone else did. I don't know why. Maybe I have to rewatch it. So my MC takes
I also have to rewatch it. I watched that movie with my girlfriend's parents at the time. Not my current girlfriend, my ex-girlfriend's parents. It was weird.
This
was a weird experience because I missed it in the theaters because I was busy with school and I was like, I don't care about it that much. And then everybody's like, it's really good. I was like, okay, I'll get to it.
Yeah.
And then they were like, let's watch this movie. And then it was a horrific experience. I watched a Marvel movie with normal people is what I'm saying. And I was not ready for that.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for it.
I watched Infinity War with normal people, but like most people were like, if you were watching Infinity War, you were on board for the most part. You know, you weren't like, what's the raccoon doing? You weren't like that. You were like, oh, okay, cool. And that's it.
You weren't like, whoa, what's going on in this weird... Well, they're in space? There's a guy, he's got an Iron Man suit? Whoa. Oh, it looks way worse than it did 10 years ago.
Whoa, what's that? Why is he all green and big? I don't get it.
Actually, he wasn't. He wasn't.
That's right.
Hey, hang on.
Thank you, nerd. Nerd, you're a nerd. Do you ever think about that, nerd?
Fuck you, nerd. I will. Never mind. That's a whole other conversation for another time. But Ant-Man, I like the first. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, I tweeted this.
Yeah.
If Edgar Wright had directed it, we would be living in
a different society. We would be living in
the utopia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched Ant-Man and the Wasp on a date. I also watched Ant-Man Quantumania on a date. In both instances, it's the perfect date movie because you just don't give a fuck about what's going on screen anyways. Because it's just a stupid fucking movie. It's just movies, guys. It's just a movie. It's only a movie. But yeah, Ants.
Do we want to just go into Ant-Man? Do you have other shit you want?
What did I do?
It's been 2 weeks. I did a bunch of shit, but I don't know if I want to spend time. We just talk. We could just talk like friends after. We don't have to make content about it.
That's true. I got a new camera, and I decked it out with like a lot of cool shit.
Look at you.
I went to the Chicago Auto Show, and we got a flat tire on the way. And that really, I was stuck on the side of the road for 2 hours.
Oh,
it was a pain in the ass. And then we got to Chicago at like 5 p.m. and we still decided to film stuff on the floor of the show. And I was tired out of my mind. And I got back home at 4 a.m. in the morning. It was terrible. It was a horrible weekend. That being said, it's really fucking cool to use this camera. I've got a lot of gear for it. I used a monitor. Anyone who's using like a self-made rig at home, use a camera monitor if you want to do cool stuff because it's real fun. It's real cool. That's it. That's the big thing I did this past 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I don't know. I watched Babylon. I watched Babylon.
How was Babylon? Oh, sorry. I was looking at my ramen.
No.
Oh,
I know. So I know.
We're an audio podcast.
Yeah,
and actually, maybe this could be how we do the audio podcast. I close my eyes the whole time.
Yeah, that's right.
And then I just have to rely on you.
Yeah, that's fair. I know a lot of people love Babylon. Tyler, I love you. Who else loves Babylon? I don't know. Bailey, I love you. Bailey loves Babylon.
Does he?
Yeah. A lot of people love Babylon, and I'm really happy for them. I said it was, quote, masterfully crafted but fucking atrocious. So yeah, I didn't it's like filmed real well.
I'm loving the way you just have these like snappy like one-liners in your reviews now.
Yeah, I'm just like
and then I'm over here like just like saying a funny thing.
You said one good thing, but your reviews do better than mine because I'm pretentious and you're not.
Well, no. My reviews do better than yours because I have a platform, and
that's also true.
It's a sad thing.
That's
Don't
true.
like my Letterboxd reviews. That's embarrassing. Also, who cares about Letterboxd? I gotta get the clout on Letterboxd.
I want the clout. I want the clout in Letterboxd, so I can't use it anywhere else.
How do you even grow? How do you?
No, it doesn't.
Like it's you just have to be the top one. You have to be within the top 50 things already.
I think the only person who has quote unquote Letterboxd clout is Karsten Runquist. Other than that, or like maybe Patrick Willems. They all have like Letterboxd Pro. What do you get out of Letterboxd Pro?
The only thing I know is you can change your like the posters for a movie.
Oh, that's it.
Like that's fun. I get. Well, I mean, there's probably other stuff.
I have to assume for your personal page, maybe that's fun. You know, I guess.
I don't know.
But that's why I just printed off the posters and put them on my wall instead. No, do that again. Do that again. Can you do it again? Yeah, do it again.
No. You're not going to get your sick kicks out of me. You fucker. You're disgusting.
I didn't mean it like that.
Disgusting.
I didn't mean it like that.
Please, do it again.
Oh, my goodness.
What did you want out of it?
I didn't want anything out of it. I just wanted to entertain the audience. That's all. I'm an entertainer. You know, my purpose is to entertain the audience, like Babylon, a movie that was meant to entertain the audience, but just fucking made me an insane man. That's all it did.
I haven't seen it. It's too long. I'm sorry. Yeah.
All I will say about Babylon is I saw a bunch of people saying the ending was beautiful, and I watched the ending and I was like,
audio podcast.
I'm doing the thing again. I keep forgetting. Just watch the videos. Watch me shake my head.
Some people are driving. Some people are busy doing chores.
Park your car.
This is incredibly.
Watch the videos.
This is, you heard it here first, folks.
What, are you going to go see Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania? Stop. Just stop and watch this podcast instead.
If the drive to Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania is 2 hours long, I'm so sorry, because that's rough.
I had to take an Uber. My car hasn't come in yet. I'm supposed to get it tomorrow from my parents. And I was going to have it last weekend so I could go just see Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania myself. I'm going to pronounce the title every single time myself. I
hate you for that.
But then I couldn't get my car in time. But then my girlfriend really wanted to go see it with me. And I'm like, fuck, am I going to have to go take an Uber to go see Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania? I didn't go take an Uber to see Avatar. I went on the bus and saw that. I waited for the bus.
I was with the common man when I went to see Avatar. Yeah. I was with the working class.
Yeah.
Avatar is the movie for the working class with its $25 tickets.
Exactly.
But you have to see it in IMAX 3D. Go fuck yourself. I can watch it on my phone and it should be good. I should be able to watch it on the toilet, Christopher Nolan. I should be able to watch it while taking a shit.
David Lynch isn't going to like that.
David Lynch is going to love that. David Lynch is going to be a big fan of that. All right? Don't drag his name.
He makes TV shows.
Yeah.
Are you supposed to watch TV shows in a theater? Doug, I'm sorry if I'm offending you. Show. I'm really sorry, Doug.
If it's a fucking HBO show, they'll sometimes put it in the theater or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm of the belief the fucking theater going experience is so over. Because firstly, crazy people go to the movie theaters.
This is true.
I had the worst viewing experience.
There was a person next to us at Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania who was being the police are coming to get you.
Yeah, they're coming to get me for my hot takes.
Yeah,
that's David Lynch. They heard what I said about watching David Lynch on the toilet.
David Lynch put out a hit for you. Be careful. But yeah, there was a person who was like sitting next to us during the movie who just, whenever Kang showed up or did something, was like, "Oh, Kang," and I was like,
"Okay,
yeah, okay."
Question though, was that for Kang or was that for Jonathan Majors? Because one of them I would.
That's true.
One of them I would absolutely be like, "Go off."
Yeah,
you do
yeah, that's fair. I think it was for Kang more so because they did it.
That's embarrassing.
Towards the end of the movie as well, but yeah, what it is.
Well, yeah. You should have taken an Uber to see Knock at the Cabin, because I saw that.
I heard you told me to watch it because it was super good, and I heard good things about it.
Hey, super good's a lot of. That's a big word.
You told me it was good.
I liked it. I thought it was a good time. I like Shyamalan though.
You didn't tell me it was super bad. The movie starring Jonah Hill.
No, because super bad is pretty good.
Yeah,
for the time. Aside from like poor political.
But it's not super good. It's not super bad, but it's not super good. It's pretty good. But Knock at the Cabin is also pretty good.
Was this
so? Knock at the Cabin is like super bad.
Was this bit worth it?
No,
no. No,
I just wanted to get you to say Knock at the Cabin was super bad, like to say it's like super bad, but that didn't work at all.
I'd say it's better than super bad.
It's better than super bad.
I think so.
It's super good.
Super bad's also pretty good. So like I don't fucking know.
There you go.
Knock at the Cabin's really good though. You dig it. You would dig it. It's what I'm trying to say. Is I like Shyamalan. I don't like all of Shyamalan, but I like what he does. I like his vibe and like he's just
it's
a
like
dude
horror without
movies.
being quite horror, I guess, right?
Well, I also like horror movies, but yeah, because he's so against calling his movies horror. I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. Sixth Sense is a horror movie, just accept it. He says no, it's a thriller. I'm like, no, it's not. Yeah, but like you have literally a scary ghost scene in it. Yeah. But no, Knock at the Cabin's really cool. I think they use at least the same lenses as the Batman, or the same like 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 anamorphic, like broken,
the Helios
dirty ass
44
lenses. Yeah, I don't know if it's a specific thing, but like that same style at least. And like it's like the super shallow depth of field, and there's like crazy camera movements and shit. It's definitely like his prettiest movie. And Batista, I am the biggest Batista stan in the world now. I love that man. He should be Lex Luthor or Hugo Strange. And the girl was really good. Jonathan Groff was really good. Rupert Grint was in it really good. Yeah, he's a gay dad. It's pretty good.
Good for him.
I don't know. Like, there's stuff with like the book. Apparently, the book is better. Fucking whatever. I had a good time with it.
Are all of Shyamalan's movies based on books? Was it all based on a book?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I know a good amount.
It has Knock at the Cabin has the best Shyamalan cameo ever. It is fucking hysterical because he's in all of his movies, and like, most of the time, like the one in Sixth Sense is a jump scare. If you know who he is, because it's like it cuts to a close up of him. And it's fucking hysterical. Like, I love it. I love how like adamant he is about like I gotta be in my movies, and but I don't think he was in After Earth or The Last Airbender. So
I think he knows. Earth?
Yeah.
I didn't know he was in that.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not a good one. But
for some reason, I thought that was the other guy. I thought that was Ang Lee for some reason. But
no, Ang Lee did. Yeah, Ang Lee did Gemini Man. Both Will Smith movies that are not good.
Yep.
Yeah, Gemini Man is probably better than After Earth, though.
Yeah. Which did you hear they're making an I Am Legend sequel?
They've been saying that forever,
though. But they said it like officially. They said it's going to be inspired by The Last of Us because we want to see what the world looks like after, like The Last of Us.
Isn't but The Last of Us was inspired by I Am Legend?
Was it?
It was inspired by I Am Legend and The Road.
I thought it was inspired by 28 Days Later. No,
maybe. I don't know. I haven't seen 28 Days Later. 28 Days Later is like very like aggressive.
That's true.
Yeah, I Am Legend is like very quiet, and same with The Road. It's like The Road's all about like the people. I don't know.
They said that they want to see it like it's like 20 years in the future, and they want to see the world like after like the fungus has taken over the same way that we do in The Last of Us. It's like
The Last of Us. This is The Last of Us. Will Smith said, "I want to be in The Last of Us."
I want to be in The Last of Us. I like that.
All right.
He's like, if I could control YouTube Rewind, I'd want Fortnite and Pedro Pascal. No one's made that reference in 3 years.
Me too.
Yeah.
Are you watching The Last of Us?
Oh yes, I am.
Yeah, I watched the first two, so you know. I heard it gets better, and I liked it. I'm gonna say I liked it a lot. It is straight, and this is embarrassing. We found something else that we're just kind of hooked to until it's gonna be over.
Yeah,
and I need to apologize in advance for this.
Yeah, okay.
It's the I can't.
What?
So, hang on. Preface this really quick. You've heard of The Circle. You've heard of Too Hot to Handle. You've heard all these Netflix dating shows, right? You're aware of them. And then there's like The Mole and Sexy Beasts.
Sure.
What if I told
Island or whatever? MILF Manor?
MILF Manor's that's not, this isn't, it's not. Okay, what if I told you all of the Netflix trashy dating shows or trashy game shows, because Circle and Mole aren't dating, but all those trashy shows with like Instagram models. Yeah. What if I told you they were all in the same cinematic universe? And this show, The Perfect Match, has characters from each property picked and put into a house together. So you've got Joey Sasso from The Circle, and then the crazy panda lady from Sexy Beasts, and a bunch of other fucking people that I don't care about. And they're all in a house together, and they all have to date each other. It's super trashy. It's so trashy, but I'm just gonna say it. It's better than The Last of Us.
I was waiting for that. I was like, okay,
it's not, but it's really funny. It's more so enjoyable. Fucking fun. I love these. I'm a sucker for like trashy dating shows. Yeah. So like,
I like the whiplash of watching. You haven't watched episode 3 yet.
I watched the first 5 minutes of it, and then
I like the whiplash of maybe finishing episode 3 and then just watching trashy dating show.
That's like a dream for me. That's a dream scenario.
That'd be. I'd like to
Joey
see.
Joey Sasso is the love of my life.
The perfect.
He's my best friend. Yeah. Lately I've been kind of like, I don't care about what's going on. I've been kind of like tired and sick of the media world. And the discourse and pop culture and shit. And I haven't been able to get like excited about something while watching it lately.
Yeah.
There's a moment because Olivia and I hate this one guy, Nick. He's fucking awful. He's so boring. I can't stand him. But there's this other guy, Shane, I think his name is. I forgot his name. His name is Shane. We really like him. He's really cool. Yeah. And Joey, the guy from The Circle, was talking to this girl who came into the house because new people come into the house every week and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And she was like, I don't know if I should go for Nick or Shane. And Joey was fucking like shade all the way. He's the coolest guy. He's my brother. I was like, thank you, Joey. I lost my. That was more exciting to me than Kang showing up in Ant-Man 3.
That's fair.
But that might be a low bar. So
no, yeah, it's a kind of low bar. For me, The Last of Us is kind of that though right now, where that's the show I'm like, look, The Flash is finishing its final season, and I am still more excited to watch The Last of Us.
It's good. What I did watch of it, not Flash. What I watched of Last of Us, I really liked.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of like, because Olivia's been gone Olivia has taken a couple weekends to go visit her sister and stuff, and like, we're watching it together and timing and shit like that. And then I got work on the Scream thing, which is eating away at me and taking up so much fucking time.
Yeah.
It's what I watched of it, I really liked, and I'm excited to continue it. You know?
That's fair.
Yeah. Because it's also just too woke for me.
Yeah,
it's too political.
And it's so political in a world of politics. Because the first game was not political at all. No. There's no politics.
Everybody was straight in that game.
Yeah,
everybody was straight and a man.
Yeah, yeah. Joel and Eli. Yeah. Good. I don't know. I was trying to think of
that. That's Ethan? A good one. That's a good one. Yeah.
Eli.
You could have gone with Elliot because there was that whole thing with like remember that controversy where like they accidentally like Ellie looked a little bit too much like Elliot Page, and like Elliot sued
people were
not sued, but there was like a bunch of because the fucking David Cage game that had him in it was like coming out the same year.
Yeah,
and then Naughty Dog was like, "Hey, look at our game with person that also looks like Elliot Page." And Elliot Page was like, "Hey, what the fuck? I spent all this time with fucking David Cage for nothing? Are you kidding me?"
Yeah, that's fair.
It was fun.
You know who Ellie does look like? Ashley Johnson. Isn't that kind of weird?
No, I don't see it.
No, you don't see it.
I don't see it. No.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
I know what you're talking about.
I also think.
Are they gonna are they gonna?
I don't think they're gonna recast
an older.
She's like 19, right?
I don't know, but like they look because I think they're genderqueer. By the way, I
didn't know that.
Yeah, you're good.
Sorry.
I think but they look 12.
They do, but
they look younger. I don't know. Because it's a big jump between 1 and 2. I don't know.
Is it a makeup thing?
Maybe Ellie will die at the end of season 1, and they're like, we're just really gonna change the fucking game here, just to really make Joel look like an asshole. In the games.
I do really like is Troy Baker hosts a podcast with Craig Mazin and Neil Druckmann at the end of every episode for like 40 minutes. Cool. I've been listening to that almost every time an episode comes out. And it's really interesting the way they talk about the way they want to do the show, because I watched all the cutscenes of the game. I haven't played it. I know, cardinal sin. But I did really enjoy the cutscenes I watched. I was asking you, should I get a PS5? I was asking you, should I get a PS5? I'm thinking about it. Because I want to play.
I mean, if you could find one, like if you could afford one and you can find one, like it's better. And if you,
because I want one in time for Spider-Man 2. That's my main big thing. But then I also I want to play the Last of Us games. I want to play Arkham Knight, again because I'm addicted, and I want to play God of War. Those are like the three things that are like on my radar, or of like things I need to experience. You know, and Uncharted.
We haven't done an episode since I finished Ragnarok, did we?
No, I don't think so.
Oh my god, dude.
Love it.
Oh my god, that's like the best game I've ever played.
I heard it was amazing.
Holy fuck, it's like unreal. No, like if you like break down the price of like a PS4, and also like add the cost of like a 4K Blu-ray player, it adds up to like $400.
Yeah,
and then it's another 100 for like longevity and exclusivity and shit. Yeah, so like. Genuinely, I don't think it's as overpriced as like people want to claim it is.
Yeah,
you know, obviously you could get a used PS4 for like $100 or something, but like it's used and it's gonna sound like shit. It's not gonna run well, and like all that stuff, you know.
And the thing is, like,
bro, just buy a PC. Shut up.
Yeah.
No, I'm lazy.
This is directed at Doug.
This is directed at Doug specifically. Yeah.
I should get a PC, but I want to play games like Spider-Man. You know.
Well, Spider-Man is on PC. It might come.
No, but like new Spider-Man when it comes out.
Yeah.
New Spider-Man won't be on PC. New Spider-Man will be on Spider PS4.
Yeah.
Yeah. PS5. I mean, fuck, I can't talk today.
If you do get a PS5, get the subscription though, because that's been like the best thing ever. I have like 1,000 games that are like pretty good.
I might do that.
Them. Yeah,
but on the podcast, they always talk about their approach for the show.
I'm gonna go pee really quick. I can still hear you though.
Okay,
so continue speaking.
I will. You listen to me.
This is part of the magic of a remote podcast. Is I can have a conversation while taking a piss.
And you can just leave.
Isn't that wild?
It's an Ant-Man review podcast. We can do whatever we want.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
You don't care about the Ant-Man review.
No, you don't. But yeah, the way they talk about it on the podcast is that, like, the way they tackle every single episode is how does love affect the way every character acts, and how love kind of destroys a person at the end of the day. Like, the first episode is about that with Joel. The second episode is about that with Tess. The third episode is about that with Bill. The fourth episode is about that with... The fourth and fifth episode are about that with those characters, which I will not spoil. But it's like those kind of things where love is a very powerful force for both good and bad. And on one of the podcasts, they brought up a comparison with one of the characters and said, see, she lost her Joel. And when she lost her Joel, that drove her insane. And then she went out and had to go find and kill the people and get vengeance for the people who killed her Joel, in comparison to a character. And Craig Mazin was like, and if that sounds familiar, maybe it does for a specific reason. And then just moved on for it. I'm like, are you allowed to reference the second game while you're writing this show for the first season? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. How was the piss? Good piss.
Great piss.
Yep.
Great points all around.
Good job.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting to hear them both talk about the show, because it's like Neil Druckmann will be like, yeah, and like this thing from the game was cool, and then that's why we changed it here. And then Craig Mazin will be like, yeah, but also we made a show, and here's the thing about the show, and I really just care about the show thing. And it's fun. It's really nice to hear them talk about it, especially with Troy Baker. They couldn't have picked a better person to host that podcast.
Troy Baker's cool. I mean, like, there was that NFT stuff with him, but like he kind of walked it back because he realized later. He's a great podcast guy. Like I like the one with Alana Pierce that he does is fucking rad. I love them. We're just ripping that one off with this. That's fair. Especially the interruptions. Yeah. Nonstop talking over each other.
Because that's scheduled in. The interruptions are scheduled in.
I get a little light. It blinks on. And it says, gotta cut
I'm sending you notifications like in Morse code. But yeah, the latest episode, podcast episode on the latest episode was real good. I'm excited. Yeah. This is like my new thing. I've also been watching The Flash, and The Flash is trying now. Mm-hmm. Because it's their last season. I'm like, you're trying now?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. Fine, I guess. It's not like they're actually trying on a writing level. They just film it better now. That's literally all it is. And they had tiny black bars at the top. It's not like big black bars. It's like the little tiny ones. And I'm like,
can we stop this? Can we stop this like upset? Like the letterboxing doesn't make something cinematic. Especially, it's like if you're on a TV, I'm watching something on a TV. Yeah. I'm watching something on something that's already 16:9. Yeah. And like, why would you make it not 16:9?
It's very tiny. Like, it's not like even fucking extreme.
The thing that's even worse about it that I cannot fucking stand is so when I would watch Superman and Lois, because I'm really far behind on it and I haven't caught up. Superman and Lois does the same thing, right? Where it's the fucking letterboxing.
Yep.
My computer screen is like I think it's like it's higher than 16:9. So it's a bit taller and stuff.
Yep.
The black bars on Superman and Lois aren't actually true black, and so
and it's like gray.
It's like a grayer. Yeah, it's almost like green, because I think they do the color grade above the letterboxing. So I'm seeing like, because I've got a nice like screen, not to fucking flex or anything, but it's got pretty good contrast and stuff. I'm seeing cool, like hard blacks gray. For the it's like okay, this looks cheap now. Yeah. Why do you do this? It's like, if you're gonna do it, go all the way with it.
The thing with like those shows is they're being broadcast on TV, so it's not like you can watch it because I have an ultra wide, but I'm still gonna watch it with the crop because it's a broadcast.
Because it's still a 16:9 format. Yeah.
It's stupid,
and it's not even because it's like we're. I feel like. It's like the 4:3 thing, where like so much TV was made for 4:3, and then like had to be forced to like move to 16:9, and now we're trying to move to like widescreen format. And it's like, why?
I don't get it. And it's fine. It's fine. They're trying, and like the action scenes are cooler now, I guess. But it's the Flash, and it's gonna disappoint me.
I watched
and
a clip, and it didn't seem particularly much better.
It's better, but like by such a marginal factor. They did a time loop episode with Barry and Iris, and it was fun. Okay. And fun. So I call that. All the Caitlyn stuff doesn't make any sense to me. The next episode is a Rogues episode.
What a surprise! The Caitlyn stuff is the weakest part of the Flash. It always has been.
Yeah.
Even when the show was good, the stuff with her and Ronnie was the weakest part always.
Yeah.
Dana Panabaker's cool. I got nothing against her, but like
she's a good director. The episodes she's directed have been pretty good.
No, she has been. Yeah.
But also, the next episode is about the Rogues, and it looks like a little heist thing.
But every time the Flash 10 years late.
Yeah, every time they try to do a heist thing on the Flash, it always is stupid.
Yeah.
There was that one thing where Barry was drunk, and he's like, "Finish him," and I'm like, "Shut the fuck up! Just can we stop doing this anymore?"
I think I remember that episode.
Yeah. But it's a show. It'll end. I'll do a video before it ends. I think.
I saw that clip and I was like, oh, this character has powers. Oh, this character has powers. Oh, this character has powers. Oh, and none of these are actually Flash characters.
I hate Cecile.
That's fun.
I don't get her character.
I liked her when they introduced her and then they made her a superhero.
And then, it's weird. Yeah. But yeah, that's what I did. I didn't do really anything else. Happy late Valentine's Day.
Happy late Valentine's Day, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Anyway, you want to talk about fucking Ant-Man?
Ants.
Ants.
All right. So this is the first movie in Phase 5.
Wait, what about Black Panther? Wasn't Black Panther?
No, 5? Black Panther was the last movie of Phase 4, which I rewatched Black Panther again with my girlfriend. Not as bad as I thought originally.
You make it sound like it's an awful movie.
No, that was really funny. It was pretty good, but I was like kind of like okay on it, and then I rewatched it and I was like, okay, it's actually pretty good. Wakanda Forever,
Wakanda Forever.
It was a little whiplash watching that after watching the first movie of Phase 5, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Well, yeah. I just like, why are the Ant-Man movies always like this? Like, why is there no care put into them? I feel so bad.
Paul Rudd, right? And Paul Rudd's a good actor. Paul Rudd.
Yeah, he's a great actor. I love that guy. I just watched Clueless again. I was like, oh, he's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it's so frustrating because like you hear about the Edgar Wright one, and every single aspect of that first movie that is good came from him. It came from the script and came from everything. And like he really loved it. He really cared about this story and he cared about like everything about it. And just like it frustrates me that it's just like
that's all gone. The original characters aren't even like David Des. I saw in the credits they credited David Desmalchin. Yeah. Where was he in the movie?
He was the little goopy guy.
Oh,
that had holes. Yeah, he was funny. I like that character.
I guess that's fine, but like
that's also the only thing I remember from. For the record, I watched this movie like 2 days ago. I don't remember. The second the credits rolled, I was like, wait, what happened? What? It just like it went in one ear and out the other. I was like, none of this is memorable.
It is the most. Aside from some things with King, it is the most cookie cutter Marvel movie ever.
Yeah.
Down to every single aspect of it. From the credits to the way it's paced to the way it starts and ends, everything. Even the ending is just it's all just so exactly what I expected.
But don't you understand? This is episode 1 of a long running thing. And if you watch it that way, then it's good. That's how movies are supposed to be.
Because you go to a theater. Yeah,
go to a theater for episodes.
So maybe David,
you were just talking about.
Maybe David Lynch would love the MCU. Maybe he'd love the MCU. He's like, oh, I get to watch my TV shows in a theater. I don't. It is a movie, and I said it is a movie, and you said I say that about every movie. But that's kind of the problem.
We had a whole bit last time of like, oh, that's a movie.
That's a movie. That's a movie. The movie's right behind me.
Guys, you're gonna want to see this movie. Wait, hang on. So you're telling me
it's a movie?
This is a movie? Hang on. I don't believe it for a second. My life is pretty crazy. And I'm talking to a cuff.
Ant-Man had that fucking moment too. My life is pretty crazy. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I feel bad for Paul Rudd. It sucks. Because just like I feel like if like the whole, like the two roads diverge in a Yellowwood or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that diverging point with the MCU is Edgar Wright's Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Because it was that moment where they said, we care less about directors and we care more about the stylistic continuity.
Some
we care
people
more
say
about
that's
keeping everything
Age
together.
of Ultron, but that happened at like literally the same year.
Yeah.
Too. So it's like
Age of Ultron I think is rough because it's clearly an ad for other things. And the other ones are for sure. But like,
but here's the other question. Is this an ad for other things?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yes.
This movie only exists because for some godforsaken reason, the MCU has gotten in its head that everything needs to be set up constantly. We need to build up slow. Yeah.
I want to take because we're talking about where the MCU is going, right? Let's think about where
I was gonna make that a natural thing. We'll talk. I was gonna like start that.
This is part of the natural thing. I'm not. This
is gonna go on my channel. All right? I need a sponsor thing to do. If this can't work as a video, it's not happening. I'm gonna record something else right now. Okay.
I know. So I'm just saying. So think about how Thanos was built up. He showed up once at the end. He showed up like 2 times in a Guardians of the Galaxy movie. That was it, right? Did we get anything else?
End of Avengers. It was Guardians 2, and then end of one of them.
Yeah, and the whole thing was like we had a movie where it's not necessarily he's kind of the main character of the movie, but it's not all from his perspective. It's just he's the driving force of Infinity War. Right. And that's how we get to know who he is. And we don't know everything about him, but we learn about him. I'm not saying the MCU needs to do that again, but I don't mind what they did with Kang, but it feels really, I don't know, distant, I guess. And that's what gets me feeling weird about the rest of how this has been set up, quote unquote, is because I don't get why you're setting this up so early.
For me, this feels like I made a long time, like one of my first ever big videos was that DC EU rewrite, right? And it was just rewriting each of the DC movies. And I got a lot of comments on that video of people saying, this is how I would do the DC EU. And then just listing titles. They were just listing slates of Batman movie, Robin movie, this thing happened, this thing, we need a Robin solo movie, and then we need a Death in the Family movie, and we need this to happen, and then like a 20-year long thing with just title, and to set up certain things. And obviously YouTube comments, that doesn't matter, that's YouTube comments and shit. But I think Marvel has had that mind, and I think that mindset comes from Marvel, and Marvel has sort of fallen back in on itself with that mindset where everything needs to be set up for such a long time for it to feel weighty.
Yeah.
Or to feel like it's been earned, because people will see something come out of nowhere, quote unquote. People will see something be we see it all the time. We see something get introduced in a movie and people are like, what the fuck? This came out of nowhere. What is this? What's going on here? You know? And I think this is kind of like the natural consequence of that.
Yeah.
Where we hear Avengers 5. Yeah, Avengers 5 is gonna be the Kang Dynasty. And we have a whole TV show setting up Kang. And we have now a whole movie setting up Kang. Constant setup. When Thanos could have showed up in Infinity War. That's all. He didn't need to be built up. He was referenced a couple times. You could cut out those credit scenes. You could cut out those. I mean, in Guardians, like they work for Gamora's character. Yeah. Which is why I think those Guardians movies are so good, because they are like the setup. And
he's only in the first movie. He's not even in the second movie.
He's in the second one? I thought he was in the second one.
I don't think so.
Because I thought the whole thing was about father stuff and like I don't know.
But that's with Nebula. It's like the whole thing where like Nebula still hates her, but
that's still like talking about him and setting him up.
Yeah,
like
true.
But it's done for the characters first, and then it benefits like the larger narrative.
Yeah.
Kang, I feel like they're introducing him so people can say, hey, look, now you know him. And now when you see whatever the plot of Kang Dynasty will be, because I'm trying not to spoil the credit scene and stuff, now you're going to say, oh my God, whoa, that's I know that guy, Glub Shido, basically.
Yeah.
And it sucks because Jonathan Majors is great. Jonathan Majors is phenomenal. He's in a different fucking movie.
I'll say Jonathan Majors is great in this movie.
Yeah.
And the stuff that happens towards the end of this movie kind of spoils my experience with this character in this movie, because it just feels like I got to know this. I got to know Kang, but why did I get to know him this soon? You know, and why am I now? It's like you're already trying to set the standard at a certain level where it's like, well, just do that with the movie. Isn't that the point of the movie later? I don't.
We've kind of forgotten that movies, not we, like culturally, societally, or whatever. You specifically, you fucking idiot. You forgot how movies supposed to be. Like a lot of people have forgotten that movies could just introduce things in Act 1, because the point of Act 1 is to introduce the characters.
Yeah.
But for some reason, a lot of people have gotten in their heads that Act 1 is not enough, and we need Act -30. And we need 10 episodes. We need 10 episodes of this TV show to set up the character of whatever, for it to make sense of him. You know, like oh god, I can't think of. There was a video, and I made a video, and I said this, and I can't remember what it was. I think it had something to do. Oh, it was with Flash stuff. I said like I wish that the Flash movie would just start and he has Wally, right? And like a lot of people were like, no, you have to build that up. You have to earn that. And I'm like, no, you fucking don't. You just tell a story. He's just a character that you introduce in Act 1. That's all you need to do. Yeah, and that's all most movies are. Yeah, and I think like I don't know. I could save this for when we have that talk. I don't know when we want to start that talk about the future of the MCU and stuff. And we'll do like a reset to make it like we'll make it a clean cut so I can edit it more easily. True. But this movie just feels like a consequence of like everything that is wrong with the MCU. Yeah, and like. That makes it exhausting, and it also makes it not memorable.
It's also it's not shocking. It's not shocking when we watched Thor: Love and Thunder. I think that was more shocking because, like, god damn it, you got a good director, you got a good set of cast, and you ruined it. How did you ruin it? Right? Exactly. This is not that. We kind of knew going into this what it was going to be. So I'm not. And I actually went in
open with it. I want to say like, and I don't hate this movie. I don't remember this movie.
I like it more than Ant-Man and the Wasp. I will say that.
Yeah. It
all blurs together, but like I do like it more than it because of
I'm looking back at Ant-Man and the Wasp and I'm like, well, at least that was interesting. And
it was funny.
I'm looking at this and I'm trying to think like what is like, because at least like the setting was the quantum realm was fucking boring. It looks like Sharkboy and Lava Girl.
Yes.
It literally looks like a big
episode. Which was the point, right? At a certain moment,
I was like Sharkboy and Lava Girl? I don't think so.
The fact that
Sharkboy Lava Girl, I love that movie. It is a very ugly movie. There's no way that was intentional.
MODOK looks like that.
I don't think anybody's trying to replicate Sharkboy and Lava Girl. Have you seen Sharkboy and Lava Girl?
I've seen bits of it. I haven't seen all of it.
I don't think that's like the demographic.
I don't think they're trying to do that, but I think it's like a slight to that to be like, see, colorful suits, but now it's the MCU. I don't know. It gave me that vibe.
I think you need to watch Sharkboy. You got to watch Sharkboy.
Maybe I need to watch it. I'm not.
I think you don't know.
It's much more wacko. It's much more wacko than I expect.
Imagine a 6-year-old writing a movie. And I say that because it is a 6-year-old writing a movie. His kids came up with this. Robert Rodriguez, the King, came up with his kids came up with the concept.
What else did Robert Rodriguez work on that people love?
Spy Kids and like Spy Kids, a bunch of shit.
Yeah, okay.
He made the Stab movies in the universe of Scream. I found that out recently. I think it's really funny.
I didn't know that.
You don't know. You don't get that.
I don't get that.
You're never gonna get that.
I will watch that.
No, you won't. I don't believe
I'll do a commentary with them.
That's a blatant lie. That's a blatant.
Not
lie.
Yet. It's a blatant lie. Maybe it's a blatant lie. I'll watch them eventually. I will do it before the new one. I'll do it before the new one. I'll watch at least.
You got like 2 weeks.
I'll try.
The new one comes out very soon.
Why do movies come out so soon?
This year's crazy for me. I'm so tired.
I just want to watch.
Oh, we forgot to talk about the Flash trailer. You got thoughts on the Flash trailer? Me neither. All right, back to Ant-Man.
We'll talk about the Flash trailer. I have some thoughts, but nothing crazy. It is. I will say I didn't mind the second act of the movie. There are parts of the second act of the movie where like Paul Rudd and Jonathan Majors on screen together. I'm like, okay, this is fine. I don't like the jokes, but like there are parts of it where I'm like, okay, there's a serious relationship here, and I kind of like that. So like that part of the movie was interesting, but it's everything surrounding it. It's act 1 and act 3. It's
I
just
don't know,
weird.
I don't know when the acts are.
I think it's
like within 10 minutes we're already in what feels like act 2.
Ant-Man meets Kang is act 2 to me. It's like begins act 2 to me. Which I know that's kind of late. That
feels really late.
But that like middle section that's like an hour long.
Yeah.
Is what I'm like. Or like the where like Hope starts talking about
Hope
Kang
talked? Hope had lines?
Oh,
I don't remember Hope.
Janet.
Janet. Okay. Because oh my god, why the fuck was she in this movie?
She is the namesake of the movie, and she has nothing to do.
Nothing. I swear, like that's part of why I was like waiting for her to have something to do, and it never came.
Yeah.
And like, granted, I don't care because Evangeline Lilly, hella fucking
anti-vax
and stuff like that.
But
I was just like, girl, you got nothing.
Yep.
You are like, you are a background character.
Yeah.
For the most part,
in your own movie, is like her mom has more to do in this movie. Obviously.
Yeah. So because it makes sense because her mom's the actual comic character. Hope Van Dyne is essentially an original character for the MCU.
Yeah, that they just
she's from the Ultimate Universe.
Yeah,
but she's not really in the Ultimate Universe
because they wanted to give Hank his wife, but then it was like, okay, I guess you have to.
Yeah. I got a piece of hot corn stuck on my mouth.
Good job. That's
really ruining podcast content.
That's real tasty, probably. Good job.
Not. It's like it's a piece of the kernel, the skins.
Oh,
yeah.
I had popcorn while eating this movie.
What?
That's something I remember about Ant-Man.
Wait, hang on, say that again.
I had popcorn.
You what?
It was real small, I popped it in.
Not enough ants in this movie.
True.
Where the fuck were the ants?
Certain ants show up at a certain section of the movie, but barely. It's not. It doesn't feel like ants. It
doesn't feel like Ant-Man.
Yeah.
What happened to the Ant-Man movies? It's so sad that these are the movies that
they keep treating the Hank likes ants thing as a joke, and I'm like, what do you? Come on.
It's a funny bit. It's a very funny bit. I'm okay with it, but I'm just like this Hank is wildly different from first movie Hank.
Yeah.
And who is really wildly different from comic Hank. Because we don't talk about that guy.
We don't talk about him.
We don't talk about him.
He's not a great guy. This Hank's also not a great guy either, I guess, but he's a better guy.
I don't. Probably. Is he not a great guy? I don't fucking. He just likes ants.
Didn't he betray Darren at one point? I don't.
Oh yeah. I remember.
Yeah.
I just like. Yeah, I don't know. It's. Oh. We I don't know. I don't know.
You have a thought and
I'm trying to think about how I want to say things, and I don't think I can. So I just need you to talk, and then I'll interrupt you when it feels right.
So all the old characters are gone, kind of. Michael Pena is nowhere. Which
he's not.
Why is he not in this movie? He should be in this movie, right? Mm-hmm. Like at least to give it some semblance of something.
Yeah, at least it feels weird to say the first Ant-Man and the Wasp. At least the second movie felt like it was trying to replicate it. It did it poorly. It did it badly, but it was trying to. It was trying to be like, oh, Ant-Man 1 had this fun scene of everybody the word of mouth thing.
Yeah.
And Ant-Man 2 did it again, way worse, but at least it tried. At least it felt like a sequel.
Ant-Man 3 does not feel like a sequel at all.
No,
and that's it's just that Paul Rudd's in it, and that's it, really.
Yeah. And the Cassie actress has changed again.
Yeah,
we've got 3 different fucking actors for her now.
Yeah,
even though apparently the actual actress that played her when she was the 5-year-old is now 16. So they could have just kept her.
They could have, yeah.
Yeah, because I saw a picture of her and I was like, oh wow, she looks like the same age as Catherine Newton.
Yeah, but they wouldn't do that.
Oh my god, I like Catherine Newton a lot. I'm gonna say this now. I really like Catherine Newton. She's probably one of I love Freaky. Freaky's really fun.
Oh, that's what she's in. Yeah,
she's great in it. She's phenomenal. What the fuck happened? What the fuck is Peyton Reed doing? I never like this. Every time she said dad, it was like dead. I don't know.
Also, Paul Rudd says Cassie like at least 15,000 times in this goddamn script. It's just like Cassie. When this movie comes out in digital, I'm going to make a compilation of all the times he says Cassie. Cassie, I love you, Cassie. Cassie, be safe, Cassie. It's just like, okay, come on, I got it.
No, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's where it was like, I do understand the relationship, and we don't, let's be real, we don't get that a lot in superhero movies, do we?
No,
like fathers and daughters. And we don't, and that's nice, but they didn't lean into it as much, to a point where she didn't even feel like his daughter anymore, you know? Well,
it really didn't help that they recast her again.
They didn't at all.
And also not the fact that they, not to mention, they didn't tell that original actress that they recast her. That sucks. I feel bad for her.
Because it's one of the best scenes in Endgame too. Is that just that small moment? It's great. Now it's just like, oh, she's jump and tap.
I'm like, stop it. We can talk spoilers if you want. We'll do that whole talk at the end. I don't fucking care.
Okay.
Like, what's weird to me, right? And like, I get that, like, she's Cassie Lang. She's a different like. She has this view of her dad during this 5 years that he was gone and shit, right? But, and also everybody disappeared, so it wasn't like oh, he left me. But if you were to look at like a kid whose dad disappeared for 5 years, like there would be some behavioral problems. Like that's a natural like expectation. It's like, it might be a little cliche, but like that's at least like, oh, that makes sense. That makes sense for like a potential arc for her. She might have not like resentment for Paul. I call him Paul. For Scott. She might not have like resentment for him, but she might have just sort of like undealt with emotional problems, because she lost her like, not only did she lose her dad, but everybody fucking, the traumatic experience happened.
It just shows up out of nowhere on a doorstep.
Yeah. And like, and then when I saw that she got arrested at this beginning of the movie, because again, we're talking spoilers, everybody, if you don't want to fucking watch the movie, you know.
It was in the trailer too.
It was? Oh, I didn't see that. I didn't watch any of the trailers for this movie. I think the only time I saw anything was when I was forced to, when I saw it Knock at the Cabin.
I saw a trailer with MODOK, and that was it, really. I was like,
I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
But when I saw that she was going to jail, I was like, okay, cool. This is like at least going to be kind of like a realistic depiction of how traumatic events influence a kid, and maybe puts them and gives them some behavioral issues.
And it was like, no, I was there for the protests.
I was helping homeless people, and you got to help homeless people. And I was like, granted, cool, good, help homeless people and shit.
Yeah.
What's weird to me, this is another thing that's weird about the MCU lately.
Yeah.
Like they have replaced kind of marginalized communities with just people that were impacted by the blip. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
They're just like, and all poor people are just affected because of
the blip.
Homeless people, all because of the blip. The blip did
this.
And it's like not actual systemic problems.
Remember the blip?
It's not actual,
Remember
it's
the
not
thing that happened? It was the blip.
Yeah. And she was like, it's not their fault. It was the blip's fault. And I'm like,
Donald Trump was elected during the blip.
Yeah.
This is a problem.
And it's like, even if it was like their fault, quote unquote, they still deserve help. And they still deserve to not get like gassed by the police or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and I heard that, I was like, that's kind of a weird, like, I get it. It's the MCU. You can't get political, and despite how everybody says it's woke now. But I just remember being like, you guys are superheroes. This doesn't feel, they never feel like superheroes anymore.
No.
They don't.
They're just characters with superpowers, and also the Avengers was a thing.
They're famous. They're celebrities with superpowers.
Yeah.
They're like, when was the last time, besides Spider-Man, and even then, Spider-Man, because when was the last time? What was the last time we saw somebody fighting crime?
Even the other thing was, they were like, Hope Van Dyne, she took back her dad's company, and now she's helping the world.
They're CEOs.
How is she helping the world?
Well, I know how she's helping. How she thinks she's helping the world. she's eventually, Lily really put a lot into this character.
She shut down Pfizer and Moderna. That's what she did.
Oh jeez. Oh god, Shazam would really love her.
Yeah.
But it's like nobody feels like an actual superhero anymore.
Yeah.
And like versus like, you look at a Batman movie, right? And my computer's all scratched up. That's surprising. Yeah. You look at a Batman movie, every fucking Batman movie starts with him fighting crime in some way, shape, or form, right?
Yeah.
Like, it will start with him either, in a dark, like, Halloween night, I'm the shadows, yada yada, the best fucking scene in a superhero movie. Yeah.
What's the opening of Batman Returns?
Batman Returns, like,
I don't know what. I don't remember.
It's like pretty much every Batman movie.
Yeah. You're right. I'm thinking about it, and you are 100% correct. Even Robin, he's fighting Mr. Freeze.
They fight. There's some sort of like, oh, we are superheroes and we do good things to help people.
Yeah.
And like Rises obviously doesn't because he's retired and shit.
Yeah, the Nolan trilogy is an exception, but that's just
fucking because Begins was an origin story, so that can't be at the beginning. But Dark Knight, he was beginning of Dark Knight, he was doing shit.
Yeah, that's true.
So like it wasn't the opening scene, but it's the first time we see the character. He's doing that, or he's about to go do it.
Yeah,
and I feel like, and maybe this is just the sense of like the Avengers aren't the characters to do this.
Yeah,
and because we spent so much time setting up Avengers in this MCU.
Think about this. In Iron Man 2, the first scene is him going to his own expo. In Captain America 2, he's working for the government and taking out a ship.
Yeah. The only time we see these, like, it's action scenes where they're doing something for the government.
Yeah. In Thor 2, he's fighting a war for his kingdom. It's the kind of thing where they're not superheroes, which is fine, I guess.
It's definitely fine. But I think that's part of the allure of it, is that they
I guess the only
superheroes, but they don't want.
Is
the only exception
Avengers
is Spider-Man
2.
for me.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
in Avengers 2, they're fighting like they're the Avengers now, like magically all of a sudden, which is kind of fun. But
magically all of a sudden, we had a whole movie setting.
Yeah, we did. I forgot that it was a movie
magically all of a sudden.
Yeah, Avengers. Yeah, Nick Fury and his gang of superheroes. Yeah, okay, that's what it was called. I don't know. I had a joke, but it didn't really go anywhere.
It's a good bit. I see where you're going with.
They're superheroes, I guess. By technicality only, though.
Obviously, I don't expect Thor to like stop muggings and stuff. And like, I think I don't know. It's more so like the street level characters, like Ant-Man is sort of supposed to be. I guess he's not street level, but that's the whole point of. That was the whole thing with the first one, is that it was a smaller.
He's a street level, yeah.
He's just a smaller scale joke.
But they never even established him as a superhero, do they?
Yeah,
he just kind of gets folded into it. Because what's he all he does in the first movie is he destroys Pym Tech or whatever, and then the next time we see him, he's fighting for Captain America. And then after that, he's
in jail. He's under house arrest.
Yeah, and so when has he ever been a superhero? He's not really. I guess
maybe that's too much to ask from Ant-Man. And like, I don't, what, like on a case by case thing, it's like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But then when you like take a step back and you look at like this version of New York,
yeah,
you've got Spider-Man, you've got Daredevil, and maybe Luke Cage, like Jessica Jones and Iron Fist, like they kind of do their own thing too. Like I'm trying to think of like who's actually stopping
superheroes,
who's doing
Miss Marvel, I guess.
Miss Marvel, and I think that's why
she's
I like
inspired
that
to be a superhero by Captain Marvel, and Captain Marvel doesn't really do any superhero.
Doesn't do that stuff exactly.
No, yeah.
Like what is like the MCU's idea of a superhero is a celebrity.
Yeah,
versus like what you expect versus what you would expect a superhero to be is somebody who will help out a person.
Yeah,
and like not to say that the Avengers won't help out people or whatever,
but they don't go on patrol.
I don't see that.
They don't do a thing. Yeah,
and I think that was also that's part of maybe that's why Superman struggled with those last movies, because like the MCU set up, this is what you do. This is how I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm just talking about it. I don't want to.
No, but it makes sense. It's
say the wrong thing.
Because I'm trying to think of any of the other, because even Thor or Love and Thunder could have tackled that, where it's like you're gods, but you don't actually do anything, right?
Yeah,
but they didn't.
You know what tackles that? The Jason Aaron Thor run tackles that with this exact fucking story. Yeah. Don't get me. Yeah, like no, exactly. Like I don't know.
So why And it's not that of all of them. Sure,
the Guardians. The Guardians are kind of the only ones, I guess. Like obviously, like the movies that set up the second one.
Yeah,
like the origin movies, I wouldn't say count. Doctor Strange, maybe.
That's true.
Yeah, I could say Doctor Strange.
That's only because of Raimi.
That's only because Raimi, because that movie. I will defend that movie to my goddamn death. I love that movie because it actually felt like a fucking superhero movie.
Black Panther, but he's like. And now I guess she's still
Black Panther starts. I would say that he counts. The opening of his first movie. I'd say that counts as like superhero stuff. But it's the ones that are superheroes are doing their superhero stuff like either in space or in a made up country that's far away or somewhere, and like that doesn't make them any less valuable or whatever. But I'm sitting here thinking like, who the fuck is actually stopping
just Spider-Man.
crime in New York? And it's just Spider-Man. And even then, he wasn't doing it for a while.
Yeah.
Even then, we haven't seen that since fucking like the end of No Way Home. counts kind of. But then the deleted scene from Far From Home, and then the beginning of Homecoming.
Hawkeye's not doing that. He just works for Shield.
Does Hawkeye? I haven't seen Hawkeye, so I don't I wouldn't know.
She doesn't do it really either. To be fair, they're like investigators kind of.
Does She-Hulk? She's just a lawyer.
She's a lawyer. She wants their money to help out.
You think the shows would be the ones to do that? You think the shows would have the time to show
Miss
that
Marvel is
stuff?
the only one I can think of. Miss Marvel and Spider-Man.
And even then, did she stop crime? Did she stop it?
She tried.
She tried. You're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Actually, I remember.
Because there's a whole thing at the end, and then she walks off, and she's like,
Moon Knight didn't either.
Moon Knight was just crazy. He's just insane.
Well, okay. I wish he was just crazy. No, he's not. He's just
British.
He's Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
British Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
I just feel like the MCU has kind of forgotten what the genre
the superhero was. Yeah. Now it's just a superpower genre. It's not even a superhero genre.
Yeah, and which is why people talk about superhero fatigue a lot. And I'm like, I don't feel like I've had that many actual
good
proper superhero movies.
Yeah.
They're because I think of superhero movie and I think of Superman 78 and I think of the Keaton Batman stuff, which I'm not even the biggest fan of.
And Marvel's not really interested in doing that because their whole idea when they started was let's not do that, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
let's make our superheroes just this thing.
People,
yeah. Yeah, but the problem for me is we were talking about this when the James Gunn stuff came out. Where James Gunn was this is gonna be like Game of Thrones. This is gonna be like True Detective, and I was really interested in the genre of it.
Yeah,
they're still gonna. I still feel like they're gonna be superheroes in that stuff, right? I'm not gonna be Wonder Woman. Yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah.
Thor on paper should be this sort of mythical opera Shakespearean Norse mythology thing, not a superhero thing. But all of the Marvel movies are the same style of action comedy with big CGI. Not even not even just the scripts are all the same and all the same settings and stuff like that. Yeah. The genre of them are exactly the same of action comedies.
Because it's also the problem of think about this just as a comparison. Avengers EMH or even Avengers Assemble, where the nice thing about it was that they locked them in a tower in New York City, and that was your set. And so whenever they had to do something for an episode or whenever they had to do something and go anywhere, it was in New York City or they were going somewhere else. And it was usually involving helping people, right? Because it's a kid's show. But I think now the whole idea is, if you're doing a superhero thing, it's for kids. And these aren't movies for kids. It's their own movie. And a Thor movie, he's not going to interact. Thor's not going to interact with the Avengers. He's going to go off and do his own thing and be stupid. And it's the kind of thing where it's they're making the characters their own branches, because if they're their own branches, you can branch off more branches from those branches. I think that's kind of the point of even this Ant-Man movie being the way that it is. Kang is his own branch to do whatever you want. You can make a Kang miniseries if you really fucking wanted to. You can make a Cassie movie or a Cassie show or do a Young Avengers whatever if you really wanted to, So it's the kind of thing where it's not serving the setup of this is what the movie's about and this is what they want to do with the characters. It's just, here's another character, and that character has their own little story, and this is another
potential product we could do.
So I don't think they're even thinking about what is the superhero movie. They're just thinking about what is the next character we can have someone hash out a script about. Because the script is not being written about. I think
Kang is a perfect example of that.
Because
I forgot, you kind of have to watch Loki to get this movie.
A little.
That's weird. I don't know, maybe I remember he was going through all this lore, all of his backstory.
He was going through the thing about his versions of himself fighting himself. You need to
and
watch
I didn't
Loki
get
to understand that.
I did not get
I still
any
don't get
of his stuff. What was his Jonathan Majors was great. What the fuck did he want in this movie though?
I don't.
He just wanted to get out of the quantum realm for what reason?
Okay, so he said he existed outside of time and he knows everything that happens. I've always liked the idea of a character like that. I've always wanted to write something about a character who knows their entire life at in an
instant. Who that is?
Who?
That's Dr. Manhattan. That's literally his whole thing.
Dr. Manhattan. But it's he's not Dr. Manhattan. He's just mad, and he's I need the timeline to play out, so I need you to help me get out, so I can help you defeat me, because there's a bunch of me's coming, but that's just you. So why would I don't it was so they thought they were doing something, but all it came across to me as was just, all right, he's evil and he's gonna do evil shit once he gets out of the quantum realm.
Yeah. Oh, this guy's bad. Don't ask why.
Yeah.
You
and
know?
it's like,
and like obviously he's in this quantum realm. He's a conqueror. He's a fascist overlord and shit like that. So like we get that he's bad.
Yeah.
But I'm like looking at like his character arc where he's like, I gotta get revenge on the people that outcast me and stuff like that. But the people that outcast you are other versions of yourself that we're supposed to be afraid of now.
And also, to me, Kang was always the guy with the ship that looked like a sword. That's the only thing I ever really understood about Kang. He was time traveling. He had a ship that looked like a sword, and the Avengers hated him. And he was the guy. He was the conqueror of time. And it was always like, it's a very vague villain. Like when you think of Avengers villains, there's not a lot to pick of. You think of Thanos, number one, because he's the big bad Doomsday, or not Darkseid, right?
Yeah.
But then after that, it's like the Squadron Supreme, I guess, and then it's Kang, I guess, or MODOK, maybe.
I mean,
but like,
it sucks because I wish I could like provide input here, but
and
like,
I don't know anything. I know he's a descendant of Reed Richards, I guess, or he's Iron Lad in something, because Iron
Lad's like, I believe Iron Lad's a young version of another variant of Kane.
But he's not Kang, I guess. But like the Kang variants are special for some reason.
Yeah, and the only thing I know about Kang is because the only reason I know anything about Kang is because I edited a video for Comic Drake a year ago.
Yeah,
and I didn't retain much because it was a lot. It was very confusing.
Yeah,
and it's very interesting how like they decided like after their ending of Endgame, they decided to kind of take a long time for nothing to happen.
Yeah.
Obviously COVID didn't help, but like you think like from Far From Home until basically No Way Home.
Yeah.
Nothing was happening. There was no I guess it's only 3 or 4 movies, but that's a lot of shows.
It's a lot of shows. Like, it's a lot of like setup for characters that some of them will return, some of them won't return, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Just like we had all this time to set this, to explain this.
Yeah.
We had all this time to make it clear, this sort of complicated thing.
Loki was the only place they wanted to make it clear. But then also, that gets back to like, why are they doing this?
Yeah.
It's just like, do they need to do this to explain all of this? Or can it just be, well, look, something kind of crazy is about to happen? Do you need to inform every single bit of context along the way? I don't feel like you really do. I know it's confusing. No. I'm okay with it being confusing. Part of that's kind of the intrigue, that's kind of why I liked Loki, is Loki's ending was confusing, but at least it left you asking for more.
Yeah, you were like, what's going to happen and stuff. I say like, to clarify, I'm on the same page. I'm not like, oh, I need everything explained to me, but because this is a time travel thing, because this is a kind of complicated thing, and they really love their explanations, as evident by the like 10-minute long scene explaining Kang.
Yeah.
That again, I got nothing from.
It doesn't really explain him.
Yeah.
It just says
I was still so confused. Yeah.
Because the other thing is, because I love Jonathan Majors, and what I was trying to say earlier, that's kind of spoiler-ish. I like this version of Kang a lot because he's very emotional. He's very grounded in his emotions. His scenes with Janet Van Dyne are really nice, like that whole bit of stuff is really cool. But then the post-credit scene, or like the mid-credit scene, just puts him in a bunch of fucking clown costumes. And I know those are variants of Kang or whatever.
They are ripped like right from the comics.
I guess that's cool, but like it felt like, I don't know, you took the time to build up this character, and then I guess you quote unquote killed him off, but we didn't know if you killed him off or not. And then they're like, oh, they killed him, I guess, but now we're here. It felt like something, I told you this, it felt like something from like the Ultimate Spider-Man show. Yeah. Where it's like they showed, oh, look, it's the Green Goblin, but it's from a different universe.
Look at how silly he is.
Yeah. And I was
which makes it hard to like
treat him seriously.
Especially for your villain of this next movie. Which honestly, I was watching this movie and I was like, wait, like I think the fact that he's the main villain of Ant-Man is weird in general.
True.
Of an Ant-Man movie. Because imagine if Thanos was the main villain of a fucking...
been the weird
he was going
villain.
To be. Yeah. He was going to be. That was the whole thing. It was Paul Rudd wrote a script with MODOK as the main villain.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what I heard at least. And I think like... Oh, I lost what I was saying. Like imagine if Thanos was the villain of Guardians 2, like the main villain, and Rocket Raccoon beat him. And then he shows back up in Infinity
and
War.
now he's supposed to be the badass one.
And now I'm supposed to be so scared of him. And I'm like, you were beat by Rocket Raccoon. Outfit. Why am I so worried? Yeah.
Yeah.
And like obviously Kang's different. Kang's like a different thing. And like we don't know if this version of Kang died or not. We don't really know what happened to him.
Yeah. And he doesn't even like he doesn't really land a punch, or Paul Rudd doesn't really land a punch.
It's kind of like an accident. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's weird to make that the main villain that we don't like we triumph over.
Yeah.
You could we could have at least ended this like with Ant-Man straight up losing.
That's what that also pissed me off about the ending, because he gets trapped in there. And then eventually
I heard there was a rumored and other ending.
Yeah, that he was going to be stuck there or something. I thought that would have been interesting.
Yeah,
that'd been like okay.
But the thing is, he was already stuck there. They can't repeat that.
Yeah.
At the end of 2, he was stuck there. So it's like, I think it would have been interesting. I saw somebody say this, because time passes differently in the quantum realm.
Oh, if he came out.
If he came back and then the world was fucked from all the other Kangs. Because you know, like some like that, like the time there was another time jump or whatever. And he comes out and it's the end, the fucking right in the middle of Kang Dynasty or whatever.
That would be kind of interesting.
Like that would have sort of been that dark ending you need, because Kang Dynasty comes out next year.
No, it comes out in 2 years.
Is it 25 really? Okay,
25. I believe it's 25. Because it's the same year.
I guess that would make it really weird to be like, oh yeah, the world's gonna end anyway. Thunderbolts, am I right?
Yeah, that's what it's like. That's why I'm like, so Phase 5 is building up to Thunderbolts.
Yeah,
and that's why they're doing Kang now. My guess is Kang's gonna show up in Fantastic Four whenever they do that. Because
when is that
Daniel Richards? But I don't know. Is that gonna even happen before Secret Wars? I don't know. Maybe
I think
not.
they might introduce. I think they're going to introduce the fucking Fantastic Four and King Dynasty, and then the X-Men and Secret Wars or something.
And then do it all in fucking.
Because where are the X-Men? They're still trying to build the mutants.
They're
trying to do so much shit.
My guess is they're going to wait till this is all over to do that.
I'm so bored by that. I'm sorry. I'm at this point where like the only thing I care about from Marvel, from the MCU, is Spider-Man? Fantastic Four, X-Men, and Spider-Man. And even then, I'm a little worried about Spider-Man, because I'm hearing stuff about what they're doing and what they're allowed to do. Apparently, according to some rumors, that means no Black Cat, and and bringing back MJ and Ned instantly. And I'm like, all right, that's lame. That's not exciting to me.
I don't like that.
So I don't know, and I've never been like I was about to, like, this is not my wheelhouse. This Avengers side is not like what I'm not. I never fucking read these books. Yeah, I grew up a Spider-Man guy. I grew up a little bit an X-Men guy, a little bit of Fantastic Four guy, and then a big DC guy. Yeah. And like, I think like I'm trying to find excitement in a lot of these characters. I'm trying to find excitement in a lot of these things, and I don't think I'm able to right now.
People didn't like Iron Man because they adapted the Death in a Bottle. What is it called?
Something like that. Something in the bottle.
Something, whatever.
But yeah, I can't remember the name. Yeah.
They people didn't like those movies because they adapted his alcoholism problem. Yeah. You know, they liked it because they made good fucking movies.
Yeah, they like it because it's a good movie.
Yeah, and it's people aren't gonna like Phase 5/Phase 6/Secret Wars because they're adapting Kang. You know, in the one panel where he goes Kang Fu and kicks Spider-Man in the nuts. That's not why people are going to like these movies. People are going to like these movies.
I'm so out of this. I so don't understand. I so don't know like what's going on.
There is one panel
that could be real.
There's a panel from like a book from a long time ago where Kang kicks Spider-Man and he's like, Kang Fu.
That's fun.
And Spider-Man goes, ouch.
Beat the shit out of Tom Holland.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But like, people aren't gonna like it for that. I would like it for that. But aside from that, people aren't gonna like it for that. People are gonna like it if it's a good fucking movie. That's why people liked Infinity War, because Infinity War kind of had nothing to do with the original story other than the fact that he snaps, you know, and he finds the stones. So it's like, it's the kind of thing where it's like, I don't understand why they captured magic in a bottle with Phase 3 for the most part, aside from a couple projects.
Phase 3? Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
In Phase 4,
I think our nostalgic definitions of the MCU.
My totally nostalgic definition is more Phase 2 than Phase 3. I'm just talking about like,
because my vision of like when the MCU was at its peak was Phase 1. Like
mine was like death, mine was Iron Man. No, mine was Winter Soldier. That was like the cornerstone point for me of like, ooh, and that's Phase 2. and it ends with a little bit of whimper, but then Civil War kind of brought that back. And I'm not nostalgic for Civil War necessarily, but I remember watching that and going, okay, all right, this is a really cool movie, you know?
Yeah, I get you.
But
I think what happened to the
those weren't planned as much as I think they're letting on, you know? I don't think Kevin Feige sat in a room and went, this is exactly what's going to happen at the end of Endgame while they were filming Civil War, you know? They just knew they were going to do something with Thanos, and with this, it feels like they're more meticulously planning everything that's going to happen.
He might have known if anywhere's going to end and people are going to they're going to lose and then Endgame come, you know? I think that might have been known. That seems like a big thing to not know.
Yeah.
I think I think what we're seeing lately in terms of like what happened with the MCU and stuff is less a result of like what the MCU has done, but more a result of what the MCU has not done. Like what happened was we have Endgame, right? Endgame is presented as your big finale to like it's called Endgame. That's like a lot of normal people thought this was it.
Yeah.
They thought it was going to be over after this, and then when they found it kept going. They're like, "What?
Why?"
So so you have Endgame, which is this huge thing, became the #1 movie of all time, beat out Avatar and whatever.
Yeah,
and like yada yada, you broke all the records, and then a little birdie called COVID-19 hit, and a year of movies, or like a whole year shut down. No Marvel movies, nothing. Like we got, you know, Black Widow, and which was set in the past, and we got the TV shows and stuff like that. And it wasn't until like Shang-Chi where like we were able to come back, and even then like it was still a little early and a lot of people weren't coming back. And in that time, in sort of the time between, not necessarily in that time, but like, and then we started getting movies like Top Gun and like Everything Everywhere, and even Avatar 2, which is really funny because it overtook Avatar. Now Avatar's kind of coming back to take it back.
It might
not in terms
enter
of
the top.
Like not in terms of box office, but in terms of like, it's definitely for the box office of the year.
Discourse, at least, I guess. Kind of, quote unquote.
And it's I think like they at the simultaneously they had too much content and not enough content. If that makes sense. They had too many shows where it was constant show, and shows that weren't hitting in the same way that like early WandaVision was for people. Like WandaVision was huge.
WandaVision was the biggest thing because they didn't do anything for a year.
WandaVision got regular people back into Marvel.
Yes.
You know, it was this was the return of Marvel for a lot of people.
WandaVision was as big as a lot of HBO shows. That's why Elizabeth Olsen got her HBO show, right?
I'd say it's bigger than The Last of Us is huge right now. I'd say it's bigger.
It was probably bigger than The Last of Us.
I don't know. I wasn't on TikTok back then, but it was huge.
Everyone was talking about it because it was a new Marvel
Olivia wanted to watch it. Yeah.
It was the first mainstream Marvel thing that you could watch at home other than like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You know?
It was your kind of normie, casual, like TikTok person would be like, okay, let's binge the whole MCU so we can understand WandaVision because I'm excited for that. Which that's a thing that Marvel has been able to capture. And ever since then, all the shows have kind of like Loki kind of like excited people and stuff. And
people did watch Loki more than a lot of other Disney shows. But that's also because it was early Phase 4. It was like one of the first things.
Loki's also one of the better ones. So like it makes sense.
Because more people watched Loki than Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Right?
Probably. I don't know. I don't believe any numbers that they give us.
That's fair.
Guys, how can we know, you know?
Yeah.
But like it was all those shows really burned out a lot of people, not even just on the like because a lot of the shows were just 6-hour movies. But like it also burned us out on like the storytelling style, the writing style, the humor. You know, I think that's kind of where like all the jokes about like, oh, he's standing right behind me, isn't he? Like it came kind of during that era of like the constant MCU shows.
Black Widow.
And so then when they come back to the movies, Shang-Chi was really good, but it still had a lot of those same Marvel issues and a lot of those same like undercutting serious moments with the jokes. Spider-Man, huge thing, but that's not even really Marvel. Marvel wasn't really part of that. That's a Sony movie. So like I don't think it really counts. And also it's Spider-Man, and it needed the fucking other Spider-Man. It needed the other two to like
it relies on being bigger than just being the movie itself.
It was the Spider-Man Endgame.
Yeah.
And so that's part of why it was so successful. And, you know, I still like that movie and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then what was that? Was it Doctor Strange? Doctor Strange. This is not a fault of Doctor Strange because I like Doctor Strange a lot. Doctor Strange was really built up to be another No Way Home, of cameos. You're gonna go,
and
you're
then
gonna cheer, you're gonna go
that.
crazy.
Yeah.
And then it did that for like John Krasinski, and then it blew his head up, and that's why I love that movie.
Yeah.
But like for kind of a lot of people, a lot of fans, that bothered people.
Yeah.
And Black Panther really good. Black Panther was great. I really like Black Panther. But then there was Thor. Thor fucking Love and Thunder was kind of also the culmination of a lot of the problems.
Thor was one of those first times where I think a lot of normal audiences also went, this kind of doesn't bode well.
And I think what happened, and then the same thing's happening with Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Where like some people are like, oh, it's fun and stuff.
I'd say the same with Eternals, but for different reasons too.
Oh, I forgot Eternals happened.
Everyone forgot Eternals happened.
Well, yeah, Eternals came out also at a bad time. I won't lie.
True. It came out between Shang-Chi and No Way Home. Where everyone was just only excited for No Way Home. No one's really excited for, because they had to release Eternals because that was their Marvel distribution. So like, Spider-Man was Sony distributed, right?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know, like the logistics of the business stuff. And I think like while all of this is happening and people are becoming sort of like you have that year-long gap where people sort of like fall off the train.
Yeah.
And then like they have to get back on it, but then they're sort of becoming disillusioned to it. While that's happening, you've got Top Gun, you've got Avatar, you've got everything everywhere, you've got the Batman, like all these things.
You've got movies that are doing well that
still
grab that same.
Yeah, you've got that kind of, you've got sort of classic blockbusters coming back, and like we're sort of starting to see that the MCU was a bubble almost.
Yep.
Not necessarily that it's like doomed to fail, but like it's blowing up, but it sort of became too big.
It's not popping, it's deflating. It's
a balloon.
Yeah.
If anything. Yeah, it's getting so high that a lot of people can't even see it anymore, you know? That's a weird analogy.
So then here's my question. What brings back the MCU? You're Kevin Feige. You need to do something to actually like rejuvenate this franchise. Because I think I know what it is. It's just like a one good fucking movie. Like a genuinely good fucking movie that just stands apart.
But I think it's honestly, it's what James Gunn seems to be doing, which is we have the brand. It's all going to be connected. But because the thing is that Marvel really loves their constant linear story, because that means that everybody will go see every movie because it's the episodes of the TV show.
Yeah.
But then people realized, oh, season 1 ended, and I think I'm good. I think I felt resolved. Season 2 isn't interesting me so far.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care for you know.
Yeah. Because I think Loki could be that. Yeah. Loki could be that one good fucking movie that just but it's not a movie, it's a TV show. And that's where the problem kind of happens, where it's like
a TV show within a TV show.
Yeah, you have to keep watching and watching and watching. And it's like, I think you need to have one sit down, this is it experience. And maybe they want Captain America to be that because they're doing Harrison Ford versus Sam Wilson.
Yeah.
Like that's interesting. There's something there. You're working with Anthony Mackie's an amazing actor. Harrison Ford is an amazing actor. You could do something really cool with that. But are they? I don't
exactly. Yeah.
Are they going to make it a fucking Hulk movie? Like they keep saying they are.
Does the MCU even allow for quality performances? As another thing, because do the actors even know what's happening? Does Harrison Ford even know he's in a Marvel movie?
No.
Does he think he's just flying another plane?
He thinks he's doing another Blade Runner sequel.
He thinks they just stole him on the set of Indiana Jones. And they just threw him onto another green screen.
They photoshopped a mustache onto him to make him Ross. Yeah, exactly.
And like how do you bring that back? I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can get it ever to the same size that it was, but I think like what I think worked so well with Phase 1 is that each of these movies were individuals. They were like, Iron Man was an Iron Man movie, and he was a C-list character from the comics, and so we made a good movie about Iron Man. And then Thor, a probably bigger list character than whatever, but like, you know, we made a Thor movie, and I like Thor 1. I know it's controversial to say that, but I really like Thor 1.
Movie. Honestly,
I think it's a good time. Movie. It falls a little bit into the sort of like standard blockbuster tropes of the time, but like for the most part, it like has a unique style and vibe, and I really like that.
Yeah.
And then like Iron Man 2 is a little bit weaker and shit like that, but it's still like better than a lot of other stuff coming out these days.
Yeah.
And then Captain America. I love first Captain America. Like they're all each individual blockbusters that sort of are fun, good superhero movies, and then they came together and it was like everybody's like, whoa, they're connected. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And now the allure of the connectedness has worn off. And Marvel has kind of been relying on the connectedness for such a long time
to get people to watch their other movies.
Yeah.
The only reason you go watch Eternals is because it is an MCU movie. And like some people are watching it for Chloe Zhao. You know, most people are watching it.
The thing I liked about Eternals was that it didn't feel like an MCU movie. I think that was probably the best part of it.
Yeah.
Which sucks. And like I think I need to revisit that movie or something because I think I'd feel better about it, you know,
maybe
now.
Yeah, after watching Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania.
Definitely after watching, full title right there.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, the fact that the most interesting thing about Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, is that Ant-Man is in the title Quantumania. That's like that's the only thing I'm gonna remember from this movie.
Yeah, it's called Quantumania. It's like it's just I don't know. This is the direction they decided to go with this franchise, I guess.
Yeah,
from like some guy going small and then jumping on a gun as it shoots and then giving him a big old punch.
Oh my god! Stop reminding me of the first Ant-Man, please. Stop. You're gonna like like
it's just like
the worst part is I don't even like the first Ant-Man movie.
It's fine. It's a good movie.
It's fine. It's me. It's because Edgar Wright wrote it is the only reason I like any of it. But it could have been better because Edgar Wright could have directed it.
But it's just the villain's back. He's the same villain.
Oh my god! He's got a big ass. He looks.
We didn't talk about MODOK.
I don't want to talk about MODOK. Hang on, I'm still talking. I think what the solution is of what we're talking about, like how to bring people back, is to let Edgar Wright make the Ant-Man movie.
Yeah.
Like not necessarily like, oh, bring him on for Ant-Man 4 because you can't do that. It's too late at this point. But like the next time you have a director that says, hey, I want to do this. And Kevin Feige is like, oh, I'm worried that might not fit tonally and consistency with the rest of the TV show.
Who cares? See if it works.
Tell Kevin Feige to shut his fucking mouth, you know?
Yeah.
Like just make a movie.
Yeah.
The Batman is great because it's a movie.
Yeah.
It doesn't set like the worst part of the Batman is the setup.
Yeah.
For this future stuff.
And they cut it out too. Yeah. Or at least they cut one of it out too.
They cut most of it out. Yeah. And even then, the setup in it still fits the story that it's doing. It is the weakest part of the movie.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's why I'm like, because even with like the Batman, they're making a Penguin show, right? And they might make like an Arkham show, or they might make some other show, but that's not explicitly, other than the Arkham thing, maybe there's not explicitly set up in the movie. It's not a big point of focus for the movie. You just get one shot of Penguin looking out at the city, and there's a power struggle. But that feels natural to the movie because that's where the movie left off the character. So it's that kind of thing of like, take where the characters have left off in a previous movie and then use that as a branching point to make something new, not retread completely. And it's like that kind of thing where it's like, for example, MODOK in this movie, just as an example, because he sucks. It's the kind of thing where it's like, oh, right, this is a crazy character concept that works. And this is a weird thing that happened in the previous movie, but they need to link up because this is an Ant-Man movie and we need to link it up. So if we want MODOK, it can't just be some random fucking dude from the multiverse. It has to be the guy from the previous movie because people will be like, Darren? And I fucking hated it. I fucking hated it. But it was like, that's what they need to do in the movie because that's the path that's been set out for them to be like, look at the previous movie, see one thing from the previous movie and bring it back just for the sake of it.
I completely like I don't know MODOK. I don't like he's not in my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
I don't know his deal.
I heard people say the Avengers game did it better than this.
That's sad. That's embarrassing. He looked better in the Avengers game.
True.
Because I did see I saw Ollie on Twitter, the Quiver, who's great. I love Ollie. They were like MODOK is at his best when it's like a body horror thing, and not like uncanny. There's discourse about how MODOK looks, and it's like, well, he's supposed to look stupid. No, he's supposed to look gross.
Yeah,
he doesn't. He's not supposed to look like George Lopez in Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
No,
he's fucking Mr. Electric. He's supposed to look like a disfigured, like scary. Like it looks like his existence,
like a monster. Yeah,
his existence should look painful.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, he just looks silly in this, you know. But that's kind of all I know about MODOK, so I don't want to speak too much on that. But you are absolutely right in the sense of everything needs to link for like within this, and it's exhausting. And I see fan theories of how to bring in Otto Octavius, how to bring in the MCU's version of Doc Ock. Yeah. He should get an arc reactor. No, he shouldn't.
No.
What? That's not how it's like.
Do a thing.
He should just be a thing. You don't have to like. Not everything has to like. I almost feel this is gonna be the meanest thing I've ever said, and I've said a lot of mean things. So I just want to apologize in advance. I feel like the MCU has sort of limited imagination, there are a lot of people that like lack genuine storytelling capabilities because the assumption that everything has to be part of everything has to be something that's something else, and like sequence, it's fun for some things and it's fun for fan theory, so I don't want to fucking like
but even comics aren't like that too. Comics aren't like that. To be fair, it's like comics will just do something sometimes, and sometimes they'll move on.
Sometimes things will be connected, sometimes things will show up and stuff. And like I remember like when Homecoming came out, I was really bothered by the fact that the Vulture and Falcon weren't connected. And although it would have made sense that they were connected because like they're both guys with wings. Are you
glad at the end of the day that
I'm kind of glad it didn't, because it's just like I more so just wish that the Vulture's wings looked like the Falcon's wings. Because I just like the Falcon's wings.
But now that they're not connected, he can show up in Morbius. He can be
and the Flash. Surprise! It's actually not Batman. That's the Vulture. It's like I don't know what's going on here, but I think it has something to do with the Flash.
I did see Michael Batman, Birdman, Vulture, Keaton. That's what they called him.
Don't bring up Birdman. Oh my God.
Is that different? That doesn't count.
No, because that movie now just doesn't work. It doesn't hit as hard.
Because he
the whole point of that movie is that it's a meta commentary about Michael Keaton's career post Batman and how nobody respects him. Yeah. And now he's just playing Batman again.
Yep.
It doesn't like whatever. That movie will probably be fine or whatever.
The way he goes to the camera, he's like, I'm Batman.
I do love it. It's so stupid looking. It's really funny.
And then he poses for the poster.
He's just kissing the lips. He put on a lot of chapstick before this.
It's like glossy too. It's weird.
Yeah. But I feel like never mind. I don't know. I'm trying to tie everything back to the MCU.
The Ant-Man.
Well, the Flash might be better because it's directed by somebody who was allowed to direct a movie.
True. Yeah.
You know, and like, say what you will about Eternals, but when Eternals was good, it's because Chloe Zhao was allowed to direct the movie. Yeah. And I'd say Eternals at its worst is better than Ant-Man Quantumania at its best. You know.
True. Yeah.
Even if there are flaws with it, even if it's boring at times, I still feel like, oh, you tried to do something here, and I respect that.
That's fair.
And I feel the same way about Snyder stuff.
Yeah.
Like I think like BVS at its worst is better than Thor: Love and Thunder at its best.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And like it's like it's not necessarily director freedom, although that is part of it. It's like the ability to actually just like tell they don't seem to want to tell stories, they seem to want to tell ads. They seem to want to like advertise for other products and Disney Plus streaming services. And that's what's exhausting for me.
Yeah, because it's like the way they like did all the like the Quantumania colony stuff, where I'm like, do you want to do a show off of these characters?
Yeah,
because I don't want that.
That felt like they were trying to make a second area of Disneyland.
They also just wasted William Jackson Harper like completely, right?
Yeah, I think he was like, I don't want to be Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah,
he's like, don't let me be Mr. Fantastic. And you know what, dude? I respect it.
Yeah, that's fair.
I love actors that are like getting their MCU paycheck and then not doing anything else
and dipping. Yeah,
it's great.
Fair.
Yeah.
Every actor is gonna get one. Every actor will be in the MCU.
Every actor will be some weird. They'll just be totally wasted.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah.
Because
think about that. Think about the hold the MCU has on just all actors in general too. Jonathan Majors is now a big part of the MCU, but he's also years. Now that's going to be what he has to do, and I kind of feel bad. But
it sucks because now also every time he gets interviewed for Creed 3, people are going to be like, "Whoa,
King, are you except for King? What are you going to do next with King?"
I saw a thing. It was because it was Tessa Thompson, Michael B. Jordan, and Jonathan Majors, and it was like, "Oh, MCU, am I right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but they're here for Creed."
Yeah,
they're here for another.
They're in movies.
This is the 9th Rocky movie. Yeah. Why don't we talk about the Rocky movies, you guys? Like, it's just strange. Is it? Wait, no. Wait, was 5 the last Rocky? Because we definitely have Rocky 1 through 5. Did Rocky get a 6, or was Creed Rocky 6?
We have Rocky 1 through 5, then we have Creed, then we have Creed.
Okay, 2, so it's Rocky 8 basically.
Yeah, I guess.
Not that it's a Rocky movie, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, yeah.
It's the 8th movie in the Rocky cinematic universe.
The Rocky cinematic universe. Yeah. The trilogy finisher and the sequel trilogy to the Rocky series. Yeah. This is their Rise of Skywalker. Oh,
jeez. This movie did feel a little like Rise of Skywalker to me.
It did. They came, when he's like, they came.
Yeah. The ants.
Stop. Stop it.
I was only excited because I was excited.
I don't like that Kang got defeated by a bunch of ants. Like, I get it, and it was fun.
Okay, so yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Fucking imagine if Thanos got beaten by the fucking by baby Groots.
I also didn't like that he got defeated by Darren. I'm calling him Darren because that's not MODOK.
You're supporting his character arc, then.
That's true. I'm not. Fuck. I hated that too. Am I an Avenger now? Shut the fuck up. Go to. I hated.
Go to bed, bitch.
I said go to death. That's what I said. Go to death.
I hated when Cassie looked to the camera and said, "What did she say? It's okay to not be a dick."
You're not a dick. I hated the dick thing.
That was weird.
He was like, Cassie, what do I do? He's like, don't be a dick, Darren. And then she runs off. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Stop it.
Again, they got a hold on her. What's weird? Okay, what's also fucking weird? They got Catherine Newton for this, right?
Yeah.
Love Catherine Newton shit. They're not doing Young Avengers. They've said they don't have any plans to do Young Avengers. So why the fuck do we have Cassie Lang? Why the fuck do we have Wanda's kids? Why the fuck do we have Ms. Marvel? Why do we have all these characters that are Young Avengers? Just do something with them.
What if Kang Dynasty is supposed to be Young Avengers?
That would actually make me excited for Kang Dynasty, and I don't think that's gonna happen.
Because it's like, are they really gonna do another 2-parter big ass Avengers movie? Or are they gonna do Young Avengers that with like some extra Avengers, and then the final thing is like, oh no, he's gonna do something bad, and then everyone dies and it's a battle world. That's my guess.
Genuinely expected when I saw Kang die here or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
I fucking thought that the credit scene was gonna be a reveal of Doctor Doom, and then they change, and then the Avengers Kang Dynasty logo, and then Kang is switched out with Doom, and it's called Avengers Doom Dynasty, which would be rad.
That would be cool.
But it's like, just because it's like that's the other thing. Where the fuck is that character? That's the character. Like I'm thinking of characters that I.
Yeah, when we're thinking of Avengers villains, that's the
Doctor Doom is like the big one, and then and Magneto's not an Avengers villain, but I'm thinking of just Marvel villains in general.
Yeah,
Doctor Doom, Magneto, Galactus. You have them now.
Yeah,
where the fuck are they?
They won't.
Why are we still focusing? Yeah,
we need to integrate.
Where the fuck is Galactus? We've had Galactus forever.
We need to integrate them. Do you see the thing that's like in 80 years when the Avengers ends? That's when we'll end it with Galactus. I'm like,
Jesus,
no, he's a big guy.
He's a big guy that eats.
How are you gonna even with Kang? At least that kind of makes sense because you do more with like the individual versions of Kang, right? What do you do with like Galactus? Is just make an Avengers movie and Galactus is the bad guy. Are you gonna build up to Galactus? Is he gonna have a society of Galacti?
He's a character you could build up more than I think you could build up Kang.
Because
he's big. Like that's the weird thing. Because he's huge, you could do something really fun of like you see him.
My guess that would be actually
imagine say we got like phase 9 or 10 or fucking whatever, and it's 6 movies, and each movie is a character looking up and they see a guy, and they're like, "What the fuck is that?" And he's a million miles away, and they're like, "Wait, what? I don't know how to fucking deal with that." And he just slowly coming there. I think it'd be really fun.
That's kind of horror movie.
That'd be horrifying.
Yeah,
but they would never do it because that'd scare all the 15-year-olds.
Just like you see like 2 rectangles, and that's it, and it's just like,
where's Silver Surfer? He's connected to Galactus and stuff, which that's just, I'm just like, where's Ghost Rider?
There's all so the good Avengers villains are just Fantastic Four villins, so they just need to make it. That's what their good movie needs to be. Their good movie, they're genuinely successful.
If they fuck up Fantastic Four, I'm out.
They're dead. They're dead. The Avengers
dead
gone.
to me.
Yeah.
Because
they just have Spider-Man, and it's not even theirs.
If you thought Spider-Man discourse was bad, of people comparing. Well, I don't know. Actually, Fantastic Four movies aren't that good either. But like comic people comparing, I don't know. I just feel like the reason the Spider-Man discourse is so annoying is because it's people comparing the movies to existing movies, and we have that frame of reference versus
with Fantastic Four. You can't do that, but they will do that with
like with the comic stuff. I think the comic fans are gonna, if they fuck up for the comic fans are never gonna shut up about it. Yeah.
Which they could, but if they make a good movie, they get Matt Shackman's doing it, right? The WandaVision guy, I think the WandaVision, yeah. But if they get him to make a genuine good movie and they don't just use him as a pawn to do another MCU movie, then you have a chance at making 2 good Avengers movies. But if you don't do that, I don't get the point of this, because yes, the reason Endgame works is not because of Thanos. Thanos is the worst part of Endgame.
Yeah.
The reason Endgame works is because of the main characters, and the reason people like Endgame more than Infinity War, even I don't, but is because of the Avengers, is because of your main cast of heroes
because
that you're
they're
following.
dealing with a traumatic event,
You
and
cannot
that's what's
sell.
interesting.
I think the mistake with Thanos was Thanos became such a meme, and Thanos became the big thing of the MCU that they're like, all we need is a really good villain. All we need is just a big iconic villain. No, you need good fucking heroes too.
Yeah,
and they're not spending any time on that, and they need to spend. And it's like, are you gonna do that with fucking Bucky and Yelena? I don't. You could, but
Bucky could possibly, and like I think Sam as Cap, you could.
You could
like
do that with Sam.
The good characters are like spread out really thin.
Yeah.
Versus like you look
they're
at
all
like
in their own
stuff,
corner, and it's like
you've got Spider-Man. Spider-Man and Ms. Marvel are kind of in the same corner, and then Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Which I'm only saying Moon Knight just because like the comic character is that good.
Yep.
Show Moon Knight's not
the show.
Like,
I'm assuming Oscar Isaac's never going to show up in the fucking MCU again. Maybe.
No, I would.
Who knows?
I would hope the best for him.
Yeah, he's gonna go be Harvey Dent. That's what he's gonna do. Yeah,
that'd be an interesting pick. That'd be fun.
That'd be fun.
But like no, like you're absolutely right. Like the characters that like I am interested in are not in the forefront. And like again, I like I like Paul Rudd. Yeah. I like him as Ant-Man. He's the best part of Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah.
He's the best part of this movie too.
Yeah.
But it didn't save it because I've just Kang too.
Yeah.
I just like
you can't sell the movie on that character alone unless you do something good with their own movie, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Too. Because it's like Iron Man works in Avengers because he had good movies, and Captain America works in Avengers because his first movie was pretty good, and that's why the Hulk had to be his own thing, and even Thor had to kind of be his own thing in those movies.
Yeah, and also the villain of like Loki was a good villain in Avengers, but like he was a villain we already knew, so we spent the time actually so most of the time wasn't spent on learning about Loki.
It was learning about the main characters.
Yeah, building their relationships and stuff.
And I guess is that what they're doing now, and that's what the point of the Avengers movies
actually
is?
that might be
But those movies are going to be so big.
Thor beat Loki, so why was Thor able to beat Loki, but then the Avengers weren't?
Yeah, that's but you're doing like Secret Wars. That's like the Battle World or whatever. So it's like, are you going to have the time to do that? Maybe, I guess. I don't know. That's where I'm like,
that's what's the Secret Wars event is an event. It's a big thing that I don't feel like we've actually like properly like started.
Yeah.
There was a huge lead up to Secret Wars where like tons of things were happening.
Yeah.
And tons of build up in that comic storyline. And now it's like we're still building to Thunderbolts. Yeah. Spider-Man he finally became Spider-Man.
You think it's going to be Doom in Secret Wars?
I hope so. It's probably
they said it's a Beyonder, but I wonder if the Beyonder is going to be another version of Kang. Maybe. I don't know.
Okay, wait, here's a weird question. Is that dinosaur girl the fuck, what's it called? I forgot.
Moon Girl and Devil
Moon
Dinosaur.
Moon Girl, yeah, Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur. I know the comic and stuff, and the show seems really fun. Is that canon?
I don't think so.
Because I saw her walking around the Disneyland thing, and I was like, oh, maybe it is canon. I don't know. I don't know. Because that has a version of the Beyonder, which I thought was very interesting.
Oh,
it's this very like flamboyant, like almost drag queen thing. It was really cool. But they would never in the Marvel movies because these movies got to go to China. It's for China and 15-year-olds.
Yeah, Secret Wars has to go to China. That movie has to milk every single carton ever, So you can't milk cartons. That's not how.
Yeah, I didn't want to ruin your thunder there. I didn't want to ruin your Thor: Love and Thunder.
My Thor: Love and Thunder. No, my Thor: Love and Thunder was already ruined. Don't worry. Yeah.
Do you think if Thor had been great, do you think people would be sort of singing a different tune for the MCU?
Yes, people would be a little bit more positive about this movie right now. They'd be like, "Oh, it was a little okay, but it wasn't too bad. It's a fun action." Yeah. But Thor really, I think, like kicked people in the balls a bit to be like,
it reminded because I think what happening with this movie and with Thor is all the things that like people like High Top and Bailey and me and like sort of all the like pretentious assholes on YouTube who have been warning you, and all the MCU haters have been kind of warning you about of like, oh, this is what the problem with the MCU is. It's all sort of getting worse.
Yeah,
it's all getting more in your face at the same time as it's sort of a meme to be a.
Yeah.
Like the oh, he's standing right behind me, isn't he? Has become a meme of a joke to make fun of the Marvel style, and then the Marvel style is going even more Marvel style.
Yeah.
So like it's sort of like it's almost like a lack of self-awareness, you know?
Yeah. Which the MCU hasn't had a lot of self-awareness. They try to, and it's not really.
They have self-awareness when they say, "Oh, dude, those comics are fucking stupid." Am I right?
Yeah, which She-Hulk is an exaggerated version of that too, to an extent. Yeah, it's just like, look at all their decisions are dumb. Yeah, it's like, okay, all right.
Hey, look at how funny it is that we make fun of our CGI.
Oh, where are the X-Men? Where are the X-Men coming? Where are the X-Men coming? You didn't tell me. You didn't fucking tell me.
They made a like. I'm sorry, like I love Ms. Marvel. I like the Ms. Marvel. Sorry, I say I love the Ms. Marvel show. It's a fine show.
I liked it to an extent. It's growing on me a little.
Yeah. I look back on it and I'm like, well, you got her right, so I'm cool with it, except for the powers and shit.
Good music. Did you
see the new poster?
I did see the new poster. It's just the three of them.
Ugly. It's ugly.
Yeah,
but it's better than the other ones. It's like we're seeing the I finally found the phrasing of it. We are seeing the negative consequences of the commodification of this massive conglomerate and the commodification of this art form.
Yeah,
and now and at the same time as the art form has been like 2022 was a good fucking year for movies.
True.
Like not even just blockbusters, but like horror movies and like indie movies and all these things. Like we had
for exposure of different genres, I think.
Yeah,
too.
Like there were like some of the best movies of the decade came out last year.
Yeah,
you know, and so while we have this sort of resurgence in like this true, genuine quality of film and cinema, you at the same time you have Marvel really, really hammering home the commodification of it, and people are starting to see through the cracks, and they're like, hey, I don't know if I like this. I think I'd rather just watch another Top Gun, or I'd rather watch another Avatar 2 where I don't have to do homework beforehand.
Yeah. And the problem is Top Guns and Avatar 2s and the Batman 2s take time.
Yeah.
You know? And people can't have. Did you see the John Campea clip where he was complaining about the Batman 2? There, like I saw one.
Not out already.
Yeah, he was like, "I don't care. I love the movie, but I'm not waiting until 2025 for this movie. I need it now." And I'm like, "What the fuck is a movie?"
2025 is fine. It's a normal. Like
I expected 2026. To be fair,
I'm actually more concerned for Superman being fast tracked to 2025.
That's true. Because they're starting from scratch. Yeah,
yeah.
But that's the thing with like
Superman is gonna make or break the superhero fatigue.
True.
I think.
Yeah,
I think if Gunn doesn't nail it, like the genre is dead.
Because if it feels like a Marvel movie, it's going to be like, oh, another one.
Another one. Yeah, especially when it's like, oh, it's Superman, the superhero, so I don't care about any superheroes.
Yeah.
And, like general audiences will be like, okay, I'll just go watch fucking Pearl or Megan 7 or something.
Yeah. Which, I mean, maybe that's good for moviegoers in general, I guess.
Not good for me, because I got to figure out fucking what to do. We'll see how the Scream video does.
Yeah. But that's where I'm like, I don't know. These movies were a big part of my childhood, so I will keep watching them. It's not like I'm not going to keep watching them. They have me. They grab me as a consumer because I was a little child, you know? But it's like, I don't know. This is the kind of thing where I keep watching these movies no matter what as a consumer, and I can't recommend them, but I keep watching them because it's like, I don't know. I have... They did me so well back then. Why can't they just do that now? And it's just times are changing, and they don't know how to change with them. That's
I
really
wonder
all
if it's the sense of like so demographic for these movies has always been like 16-year-olds in China. Anthony Mackie said that himself.
Yeah. It's just because we're older. Is that what you're trying to say?
That's a big part of it. Older. I think it's that we got older and it didn't grow up with it. It didn't grow I'm even older than you, so it's like that's not it. But it didn't grow with its core audience. Yeah. And so you look at a lot of big MCU defenders; they are the same age as MCU defenders were.
Do you know what's
5
funny?
Years ago.
You know what has the exact same problem in my opinion? Percy Jackson. Percy Jackson did not grow up with me. Percy Jackson, the first series was really good. In the second series, I grew up with that series. The Trials of Apollo is still like meant for that younger demographic. Rick Riordan writes, and he says explicitly, he will never have Percy swear. He will never have Percy do shit that Percy isn't supposed to do, even if he is 17 years old, because they're writing the new book. And he still says, I'm writing it for the high school, middle school audience. I'm not writing it with swear words. I'm not writing it where he's extremely mature. Percy
but that
is
high school,
Percy.
middle school audience is 30 now.
Yeah, the people who read those books are in their mid-20s and their 30s. So it's like, but I mean, at least he's more explicit about the audience. Yeah. He's like, I'm doing it for the kids. This is a kid's book first, and then it's everything else later. And I'm just along for the ride with that because it's just reminiscing my childhood. But the movies are still trying to market it to us. The movies are still trying to be
like you said, the MCU is like superhero. We're not for kids.
Yeah,
we're for adults. We don't have those silly costumes.
They don't go and stop robbers.
They don't stop muggings. That's for babies.
They have their own specific villains.
They're government military cops. That's what makes them cool.
Look at Captain America kick this guy off the bridge. He's so cool.
They all kill people and they never address it.
Yeah. And that's where it's like it's like growing up with kids and then they're pseudo growing up with kids.
Yeah.
Because what's a franchise that's grew up with the kids? I don't know. I can't really think of one, right?
There's one I can think of and I don't want to say
comics maybe.
Comics have I'd say I was Avatar actually. Atla Last Airbender, because
Korra is more mature, right?
Korra's more mature. I can guarantee you this next series.
The Kyoshi books are more mature. Yeah,
Kyoshi, exactly. Star Wars did the exact opposite. Star Wars went backwards, which is funny. Yeah. Star Wars was like for like 16-year-olds, and then it went to 12-year-olds for the prequels.
Yeah.
I don't even want to say it right now, just because like fuck her and stuff.
I know what you mean though.
And that's not even an intentional choice on her end, because it's just Invincible did. You grow up literally with Mark.
Yeah.
The over time and stuff. But you're right. Like long form franchises are always going to struggle with that. Yeah. And I think the issue is like we're seeing. Like
it takes a village, because it takes a village to make a movie. You know, it takes time to make these movies, but Marvel's trying to pump them out because they know that people. I think at a certain level, if you work at marketing in Marvel, you know what's going on. You can't be blind to this. You understand that there is some form of, I'm not even going to call it superhero fatigue. It's just Marvel fatigue. It's just these kind of movies.
It's hard to say. We'll have to see how something like Joker 2 and like Shazam and Blue Beetle and stuff, how they do.
Yeah.
Because I worry that Shazam and Blue Beetle and Aquaman are gonna fall victim to that Marvel
Shazam's
fatigue.
Not gonna do well at the box office.
No, it definitely won't. And I feel bad. I feel so bad for Shazam. Yeah. Oh my god. They deserve so much better.
Yep.
Not Shazam, but fucking
the cast and everyone in it.
Yeah. Fuck.
Rachel Zelger and
Rachel definitely deserves the world.
Yeah. Which is that Snow White movie still happening? I think it is. Mark Webb's supposed to be directing it, and I'm.
Oh, he is? Okay, now I care.
Yeah, so
that interested me. You shot my interest from literally
nothing
to I will watch that now.
Yeah,
that's just, it's like, okay, what's going on with that Barry Jenkins Mufasa prequel?
Oh, he's still working on it. He's going and finding the lions. He's casting the lions.
He's casting real life lions. There, thank God, finally a live action Lion King.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
but yeah.
I don't know. I think it is. You're right. It's Marvel fatigue, but the problem is people associate superhero with Marvel. And what they really need to do is lean into what Edgar Wright wanted to do. Edgar Wright wanted to make Ant-Man a heist movie.
Yeah.
Right. It's in it, and the script of it is a heist movie, but it presents itself like it's a superhero movie. Yeah. Like action comedy. Like they're not leading into the genres like they need to be.
Yeah.
You know, Logan is a Western. And that's why it's so fucking cool. That's why people will rewatch and talk about Logan. If Deadpool 2 is another action comedy, which I guess it's Deadpool, so it makes sense, but it should be a buddy cop thing, or it should be a road trip movie.
That's why I respect the Christopher McHugh, Tom Cruise like dynamic a lot.
Yeah,
is because their genre of movie is like Top Gun Maverick. Mm-hmm. It's directed by Joseph Kosinski. It's not directed by Christopher McQuarrie, but it's like that whole team of like guys who are all like 40 to 50 who are all doing this thing because they've been doing it for a while. Yeah. Like that whole team has been working on movies, but they all still feel kind of distinct. You know, it's like action movies with a little bit of something else, you know, to help separate it. And it'd be interesting to see that crew tackle a Marvel movie. But then I'm afraid they would never do it because they want to have full control of the material they work with.
Why would you want to do something in a playground that you don't own when you just make your own playground?
Yeah. And I feel like it would work if they did one, but they're never gonna do one.
No, they could do it, but it's just, I think it's like, as a creative person, like you and I both, like we make shit. If somebody gave you a thing and said, like gave you a coloring book and said, here are the colors to use, you would be like, no, I'm just gonna draw a picture.
Yeah,
you know, because they can. And I'm not saying that Marvel directors can't, but a lot of
would you rather have $100 million? Would you rather have $100 million to work on a movie, or would you rather have $50 million to work on a Marvel movie? You know, like that's
honestly, the opposite. I would rather $50 million to work on whatever I want versus $200 million to work on a Marvel
that's fair.
movie. Because
the career deciding move is the $200 million movie, but that's not longevity. But then, I guess, right?
Is Peyton Reed gonna have a career after he's done with Ant-Man? I don't think he will, because he didn't. It doesn't seem like he really directed the movie.
He didn't put a stamp on anything. Like, right?
Who watched The Gray Man? You did. You don't count.
I did.
Who else watched The Gray Man? Yeah.
A bunch of Indian people watched it because Dhanush was in it, but even they didn't care. They just watched the scenes with Dhanush and then they called it good. You know,
like, I feel like the directors that are known for the MCU stuff, they have one movie that's not the MCU that people will go see, and then if it's MCU quality, they'll be like, okay, they can't do it.
Is it Cherry for the Russo brothers?
Yeah, I think it is. And then I think when
did John Watts
does another thing, no, you watched it?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's terrible. It was fucking terrible. And
Cherry Bowl. Don't you go up Tom Holland's asshole?
Yep.
That's cool. That's fun.
And he does like a big dance, and it's filmed real weird. It does not feel like the Russo brothers. It feels like the Russo brothers.
That's better than Gray Man, which seems like it was just.
It is more like the same. Gray Man is like an actual. It feels like the Russo brothers. Cherry is like they were on acid. They were just on acid the entire time, and it was like, good for them, I guess. But it was weird. It's real weird. But that's the thing where it's like when those directors make those changes, when they're like, okay, I'm out of the Marvel playbox, I'm going to do my crazy thing. I would rather have a Cherry than a Gray Man from a lot of these directors, where it's like they're just trying some shit and it goes nowhere. Rather than they don't try anything and it's a Ryan Gosling is jumping on a CGI train and that's it. So it's like, I don't know this whole thing about like, the MCU can keep going and I'm going to keep watching, I guess. But it's the kind of thing of I'm afraid that like I saw the thing about the 80 years, right? There's no fucking way this is going for 80 years.
No.
There's no fucking way. This is if it's already dying, how the fuck is it going to go for 80 years?
It's hard to say, like, is it even dying? We can't tell. We can't tell what dying
even with the comics industry. The reason the comics industry went for 80 years is because there were those iconic comics. That happened in the midway through.
Comics industry struggled a lot.
It's struggling now.
The only reason Marvel didn't go bankrupt is because they sold Spider-Man and Fantastic Four and X-Men.
Yeah, exactly. And then those made off movies and revitalized. Yeah, exactly. Even the comics. The movies saved saved the comics in Marvel's case.
And now they're not. Now
you can't
compare with James Gunn. I mean, it's like I made the whole fucking video about it, but like James Gunn was promoting the comics and that helped the comics, but now the MCU, the comics are promoting the movies.
Yeah.
And that's hurting the comics.
Exactly. So I don't.
The thing I just remembered it. The thing I fucking hate right now though is they waited until basically like when like I don't think like you say they expect it to be around for 30 years, maybe for 80 years, maybe they do. I don't know.
They expect to be around for at least 30 is my guess.
Or 80 years. I meant the fuck. Of course, now when the burnout is happening, when the fatigue is setting in, is when they introduce the diverse characters. Is when you have Kamala Khan. Is when you have Kang as a villain, and Kang's not fucking Kang's white in the comics or whatever, but like is when you actually start to branch out and be interesting from a diversity standpoint. Yeah, is when you have She-Hulk. Is when you have all these things. And now people are getting tired of it, and all that's doing is fueling more Marvel went woke, go woke, go broke.
And that's why
that is not the reason whatsoever.
Yeah,
not by a mile. But they waited. They waited 10 years to do Black Panther. They waited 10 years to say, "Oh, black people could be superheroes too, guys." A whole 10 fucking years. That's ridiculous. And it's same with it's all this shit. It's just I don't know. It sucks. I don't know. I don't even fucking know.
I think I think they know. I refuse to believe they don't know. There are smart people working behind the scenes at Marvel. I refuse to believe there aren't, because for 1,000 people, at least 10 of them gotta be smart, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, I do think they know what's going on, but I think the reason they're actively not working against the machine they're creating is because it's too big. It's too big right now, you know?
Well, I think even because if you look at like the profits of MCU last year, right? Doctor Strange, what was it, 800 million? I think.
Yes. Yeah.
Like none of them broke $1 billion, right? But they all still made 600 million.
Yeah.
They all still made a pretty big profit.
Yeah.
No Marvel movie is ever gonna fail.
Yeah.
Even Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Marvel right
Thor
now
Love and
is
Thunder.
just clocking into their 9 to 5 and then just going, all right, this is what I need to do. And then I'm getting 600 million out of it, which I don't blame them from a business perspective. Let's be real. But
from a creative perspective, it's almost insulting.
Yeah. There's no longevity in that. That's the thing, is I think that's what they need to realize now, is go like, okay, because of the pandemic, we had to kind of relax, you know, and we had to kind of slow things down. So we did lose money. Now we're gaining some money back now that people are going back into theaters. Movies make money now. And part of it might be inflation. I don't know, but movies do make money now. They finally make money again. So it's like, use this as an opportunity to try new things. And I feel like they won't, but they're running out of time. You know, they are quite literally running out of time, because they're going to have they have a timeline to compete with. There are a bunch of new big DC projects coming on the way that are going to be quote unquote competing with them. And it's not even that it's a direct competition, but but like 2025 is stacked with a fucking load of movies, right?
We'll have a direct, not necessarily the direct competition, but a direct comparison.
Yes,
which will be interesting.
This
is how another company is doing it. That's not Marvel.
Which we couldn't do before, because before DC was just focused on Man of Steel, Batman v Superman 3 years later. You know, it's like the space was too much. Now DC is like, I'm assuming whatever DC is doing right now has got to be expensive.
If Warner Brothers even exists long enough to make that happen. Honestly.
True. So it's like, I don't know.
I think it's I thought I had something to say and then I lost it.
If you work at Marvel right now, you probably have some sense of job security, but maybe you don't.
That's what I think. The more I think about it, I think it is going to stay forever, but I think it's not forever, because like the world's only going to last another 10 years at this point.
Then we'll all blow up.
They will all just blow up. Exactly. Stars are fading.
Big fart.
Everything that fart at the same time, and just the whole planet becomes inhabitable.
Exactly.
But like, I think that they're just gonna keep going. They're gonna keep existing, and it feels borderline dystopian to say this, but I think it's gonna be kind of like Marvel movies are just something we live with. They're just something film people just have to live with everybody, and which is insane to say, because that's what people said about the actual fucking pandemic, and that's exhausting.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, we're giving them money. When are we gonna? What is gonna stop us from giving them money? I don't know, because I went and saw it. I took a fucking Uber to go see it. What's wrong with me? Something's wrong with me. But like seriously, what's stopping us from giving them money? I don't know, because we'll keep watching it. We will keep watching. For me,
it's for us, it's the pop culture podcast that we run,
but
where we make an episode titled Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania spoiler review.
But to be fair,
then you put the title in the middle, and then you're gonna put Kang on the right side, and you're gonna put Paul Rudd on the left side.
I was actually gonna do that. I was actually gonna do that tonight.
I know you too well.
I was gonna put the Quantumania in white. It's gonna be called a full review.
Yeah.
We
didn't even review the movie.
No, we didn't.
We didn't even talk about it.
Because is there anything to talk about, really?
Because I mean, this movie is just Ant-Man is just an ad for the future of the MCU.
Yeah,
and we're trying to determine if we even give a shit about the future of the MCU. And I don't know if I do.
I do on the most base level, I think.
Yeah.
On the most because I watched a cam rip of Civil War when it came out, because I really badly wanted to go see that movie, even though I went and saw it in theaters. I went and saw a cam rip of Age of Ultron because someone sent me a link on YouTube, and then I went and saw it the next day. I saw it the next day in theaters. I saw it the next day in theaters. I saw it the next day in theaters.
Get a load of this guy.
But then I went back home and then I watched the camera up again.
Police, because they were coming for you. They were coming.
They were outside, and they're outside your window too. But it was like, okay, I grew up with this shit, so obviously I'm going to keep watching it. But it hasn't gotten to the point where it's completely disengaging yet. Thor Love and Thunder did slowly get there a little, but like I think the problem is right now not everything is Thor Love and Thunder, but it's slowly going to get there. It's slowly going to get there, and once it gets there, I think that's what really spells like the doom of the MCU. When there's not even a because we had Doctor Strange, we had No Way Home, we had like those movies in between Black Panther to have something that was like special in between. Once we lose that completely, which I do think we will in like 10 years, that's when there's no hope.
I think it's interesting how the MCU was a brand that existed to serve like the MCU was a brand to be a brand recognition name. Now the brand recognition name is almost hurting it.
Yeah.
Versus like if they made Black Panther 3 and it wasn't like Marvel Studios, it was just Black Panther.
Yeah.
I think that would do better.
Yeah.
I think people would be more interested. Not necessarily do better. It would still do equally as well because those movies are always huge.
Yeah.
But like, I think people would be like, "Oh, wow, Black Panther! I love Black Panther." Oh, and it's people are more interested in the character names now.
Yeah.
And because someone like Ant-Man, they haven't really worked to build up that character name.
Yeah.
The fact they marketed Kang more than Ant-Man. This is the movie you see before you see the Kang Dynasty.
Yeah.
This movie straight up to the marketing department or to a lot of people, this movie only exists to set up for Kang.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist to be its own movie, and people are sick
of
being advertised.
It's a trilogy. It's a trilogy capper, but it doesn't feel like one.
No.
And that's a shame. But I mean, also it's Ant-Man, so maybe it's not a shame. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel bad for Paul. I feel bad for Ant-Man because fuck, dude. If Edgar Wright directed Ant-Man, it would have been the best fucking super movie ever made. Yeah. It would have been the best superhero movie ever.
And people think he's gonna come back for Spider-Man. He's not gonna.
He's never working with Marvel.
No.
After the shit they like. I don't think people remember like how much they fucked him over.
Yeah.
But like he was working on Ant-Man for like a decade.
Yeah.
He was working on Ant-Man before Iron Man came out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like it was going to be its own thing, and then they tried to work it in, and then he was like, "Yeah, let me make the movie my way," and they said no, and he said, "Okay,"
because they also pushed it for so long. They should have done that in phase 1, but for some reason they were like, "No, we need."
Yeah, and then there was a whole thing with like Janet being in Avengers 1. That was the other thing that was almost going to happen. I don't know if you remember, if you've heard about that.
I think I do. They're going to replace her with Natasha.
No. She was going to be Black Widow, and it was going to be Janet. Maybe 2 girls, which like good. Would be cool because there's another thing, and I don't really know if we're the people to have this conversation. I was talking with Olivia about it when we were watching it and stuff, or after we watched Quantumania and stuff. Mm-hmm. Women in the MCU are all kind of the same, and like it kind of sucks. I like the female characters are kind of poorly written.
They're all
kind of like
badass.
They're all badass masculine women, and like there aren't really any girly girls, which like is kind of a necessity. And like,
other than that one girl in She-Hulk, I guess.
I mean, you could consider She-Hulk to be that because like at least she like dates and wears dresses and stuff like that versus like textured onesies and cuts her hair real short. And like obviously like the butch or more masculine, butch isn't really the right term for it, but like the more masculine women are still valid and still women and shit. But like it is very strange that like every single fucking character they hyperfixate on that very baseline like man definition of what a strong woman is.
Yeah.
And like you compare that to like Birds of Prey, which was actually directed by a woman.
I need to rewatch Birds of Prey again.
Dude, Birds of Prey is so fucking good. Yeah. Birds of Prey is great. I love Birds of Prey. And I guess maybe I don't know, because maybe Chloe Zhao is like maybe Eternals like had those people. I don't really remember Eternals enough to say that. Like I don't know. I was just thinking of a fucking Hope, and I was like, comparing her to Janet from the comics, and even Janet in this, like Janet is a girly girl in the comics, and like that's not a better thing, but it's like when Kitty Pryde shows up, are they going to do the same? Like, oh my god, they're going to fuck up the X-Men if they treat them all this way.
Yeah,
like it's. I'm wording this poorly, and people are going to take it out of context or whatever, and like
I don't think so. I see what you mean though, because it's like this. I mean, even they had that same moment too, where Janet goes up to the one creature and it looks like they're gonna kill her, but actually they're friends.
Yeah,
and it was like
even that was like at least a show of like personality and character and stuff.
That's true.
And like I can excuse it for characters that are like that in the source material, you know. But like for characters that aren't like that, or for characters that are original and stuff like that, I'm just like, I'm not like I'm trying to think of like real proper, not proper, because I'm not saying this right, but like basically I'm worried for Kitty Pryde.
Yeah,
because Kitty Pryde is that same girly girl.
All scale of the feminine spectrum is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, exactly. I want real proper representation of like every type of woman, basically, and every type of person. That's what diversity is, you know.
Yeah.
And when every woman is short haired white woman that acts like a man, basically, it's like that's not representation and that's not diversity. That's just a man writing a woman, and that's not the same thing.
Yeah.
And like it's just exhausting because it's like there are so many really great and Ms. Marvel, that's why I liked her, because I was like, you actually feel like, not necessarily you feel like a girl, but like you feel like somebody that has a character and isn't this like
Miss Marvel feels archetype. More real because Iman Vellani is also
she's playing herself.
She's playing herself.
Exactly. You know? She feels like a person, and that's why she's the best. She's the best addition to the MCU. The past, like,
and they're gonna fucking waste her. I know they are.
Oh,
I know they're gonna waste her. And I want them really badly not
to. Even Wanda actually is probably better than like a lot of these other like female of like I'm trying to find the right wording because I'm getting dangerously close to the shitty guys that are always shitty. like Wanda is at least more like feminine traditionally. Like she's Wanda and she's got
she's the Scarlet Witch.
She's the Scarlet Witch and stuff. But like at least it's like, okay, I feel like and maybe I wonder that's why a lot of women were actually like drawn to WandaVision. Because there was a big female audience for that show. Yeah. Because she actually felt like she was a real person. Yeah. And stuff like that. I don't know. I was seeing Hope, who had like my length of hair again. My hair is too long, so short hair doesn't matter.
Hope's hairstyle sucks, and it has nothing to do with that. Her hair length. It's just it looks messy.
They always fuck up
like
her hair.
Shit. Yeah.
It changes every movie. Yeah. But I'm just like she's silent and brooding and like I just
she does nothing, and she shows up at the end, and I'm like, why did you even save him? You know, like, are you in love with him? Are you really?
Are they? I forgot they were. I didn't realize that they were until
it doesn't feel like they are.
The shot where they're sitting and hanging out, and I was like, oh wait, are they dating? I forgot. And then later,
you know, where to fake out ending
because they don't kiss, they just hug.
No,
have you noticed that?
They don't.
This is such a strange. The world. The MCU is also like deeply sexless.
Yeah,
except for Eternals.
Yeah, which that was the most riveting sex scene of all time. Yeah, where they just stood there like this on top of each other, and they're like, okay, yes, we have consummated the act. No, I also hated the fucking like the ending right before the credits. The actual ending of the fucking movie, should I say? Where he's like, is Kang gonna show up? Okay, never mind. And then he just stays quiet for like 10 seconds, and then he spits out some cake. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? I don't.
It's an ad for Kang Dynasty, baby.
It's an ad for cake.
Oh, don't forget the ad for Loki season 2 at the end too.
I'm actually excited for Loki.
I am too, but I'm also just like
it's just an ad. Yeah,
that could have just been a trailer. For Loki.
They should have just played the trailer for Loki. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't do it. They played it at Comic-Con. They never released it for some reason. I don't know why.
Credit scenes are a thing. I think should be a thing of the past, unless if they're a funny bit.
Yeah,
I think like credit scenes that tease a thing
always
that
have a funny bit. They don't have a funny bit anymore. Where'd the funny bit go? That would have been if Michael Pena showed up and he was like, "Oh, where did everyone go?" I would be like, "Okay, that's funny."
That would have been funny. Yeah, exactly.
But he does no.
Yeah. It's I think it's kind of embarrassing that I think the best credit scene that actually sets up a future thing is the one at the end of No Way Home that's just the trailer for Doctor Strange. Because I'm at least like, okay, at least you know.
You gave me a trailer.
Know that you're an advertisement.
At least I know I will see this on YouTube in like a week and I'll watch it.
At least it's because what I've always hated about so many of these credit scenes is that they're deeply like important. But then the movie happens, and that
I think I said it already.
You can't make them necessary viewing because they're the credit scene.
I said I hated this credit scene already, right? I did. So. I want to just stress that again. About it. Yeah, I fucking hate it. It's stupid. It's so stupid. I don't get. They're clown characters. He's wearing fucking clown outfits. I don't understand. I did say it already. I did. Yeah, you did. I don't get it. Why did they ruin the only good part of the movie?
I don't like feel threatened, I think is my thing.
No.
Like when Thanos grabbed the glove and was like, fine, I'll do it myself. I was like, oh.
What's the one movie where Michael Keaton plays like a bunch of different versions of himself? That's what I thought of.
Yeah.
Multiplicity. The one that he did before he did Batman, where he's like, he's probably Mr. Mom. Something like that.
I don't know.
It feels like a funny joke. That's what it felt like. It felt like a funny joke.
And I wonder if maybe that's just because like Rick and Morty has done that bit now.
Oh, maybe that's why.
Because Rick and Morty is a parody of the Council of Reeds.
But his accent was also really weird. You know, maybe that's just me. But like I thought the accents were real odd too. It's just you see Kang as this intimidating force for the entire movie, and then he's just like a pharaoh from
exactly
Ramen. I think is a comic version of the character or something like that.
I edited that video for Drake and he talked about it and I read that part and I don't remember it. I'm right over right.
That's something to save for the actual movie. I don't know why. I don't know. I'm just
like it's this all feels like filler, I think.
Yes.
Which is weird because they're building to Secret Wars, which is like apparently which is supposed to be a big thing.
Yeah.
And it still feels like filler.
It's also
Kang,
like
to me has never been like a huge villain. And I need to read Kang Dynasty, I think. I think that's the big thing.
What are the big things they're doing next? They're doing Secret Invasion. It's not really Secret Invasion. They're doing they're doing the Marvels, which I'm assuming will tie into Secret Invasion somehow, but that's its own thing. Loki season 2. What is the other movie they're doing this year?
I don't know.
I know they're doing one other movie. I don't know what it is.
I can look it up. Well, they pushed back the Marvels to November, so maybe not this year anymore. So that's what that poster was.
Yeah, so I guess they're doing only one other movie. Marvel just gave up on the fucking theaters, I guess.
What if season 2, Secret Invasion, Guardians stuff.
Okay. Well, that'll be a good movie.
Guardians to me,
but that's not going to do anything. That's not going to set up anything. I hope. I really hope.
I hope it ends things. Yeah. Honestly, I hope it's the conclusion to those characters because I think it needs it. Oh, Echo's coming out this year.
I don't think that's coming out this year. I think they
Ironheart's coming out this year.
I think they talked about pushing both of those back. Okay. That's what I heard. And so, when is Thunderbolts coming out? Next year?
I don't know. It didn't even say it on that website. I looked at.
My guess is next year.
Probably next year.
This is too much shit. Just stop.
It's just and it's not to be like, oh, I need to know who I'm interested in, but like I need to have at least like some knowledge of like that these characters, that they're interesting characters.
Yeah.
Because Echo, I'm actually interested in because I know that she's cool in the Daredevil books. Yeah. Because I didn't see Hawkeye, so I wouldn't know how she was in Hawkeye, but like I'm not gonna watch Hawkeye to set up for Echo. I'm just gonna watch the Echo show because that's how shows should work.
Yeah. And I guess they are making the Daredevil show. I did forget about that.
Yeah.
But that's
good. That will also kill the MCU for a lot of people. If
that'll kill TV MCU. I think. Yeah. Because that's them trying to do the other thing, and if they don't do the other thing right,
because I think
wrong.
The reason so many people hated Spider-Man Discourse is because a lot of people thought it was just, and a lot of people were doing this, but like a lot of it was people who were like, I know the movies from this. I know these movies. That's my version of the character, and this movie's not that, so I don't like it.
Yeah.
Versus like a lot of like myself, it was like this version of the character isn't fundamentally what I like from the character and stuff like that. But like the Spider-Man movies, we had like a basis, and that's why there was so much discourse. Daredevil, we will have that basis, and the discourse will be worse because it will be the same actor.
Yeah.
And it'll be potentially no Karen Page, which I think is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe the show won't be good.
I don't know.
A lot of things cannot be good.
I didn't watch that episode. I didn't watch She-Hulk at all. So maybe it will be. Maybe I heard people say they loved that episode of She-Hulk. I believe them. You know, I just have. I don't know. It seems like not my scene. You know.
Yeah.
Just every single thing I hear about it, every interview, I'm just like, oh no, that's concerning.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They have the guys from like CW stuff to work on it, right? So it's like, I guess, I don't know.
CW stuff?
I think so. One of the CW shows. Legends of Tomorrow? No.
Okay, I like Legends. That's such a weird pick, though.
Maybe it was an Arrow writer. I'm not 100% sure.
That's not a good sign.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's not good news.
That's not good. Karen Page shows up and she's like, why would you lie to me? Why would you lie to me, Matt? Why would you lie to me, Matt? And then she gets up out of her wheelchair magically.
Oh, Jesus
That's what she
Christ.
does.
And walks out the door.
Yeah. And leaves the ring on the table.
What are your final thoughts on Ant-Man and the Wasp? Oh, actually, wait, we forgot to talk about the most important scene in this movie.
Oh.
MODOK's bare ass. What do you think of it? Rated out of 10.
6.5. Not the worst.
That's way too fucking high. Oh my god.
I had to deal with everything else in the movie, so it's okay.
Okay, that's fair.
It was a microsecond. It was like Tom Holland's ass, and
didn't feel like that. Did not feel like a microsecond to me. It felt like a millennia.
Oh, it did.
Yeah,
that's fair. I saw his ass on a big screen, and I was like, "Good for you, Darren. Fucking Darren. Jesus Christ."
Yeah, I am glad to see though, because the film
that like something came back from the.
I'm like, wait. Oh, I'm just glad that I don't have to make I don't have to constantly make content with the MCU for the rest of my life.
No, you don't.
That makes me feel
you're free.
Like I was always so scared. Oh, superhero fatigue is gonna set in, and my career is gonna end, and I'm gonna die alone. But no, fucking. Turns out I just gotta make videos about cats.
Scooby-Doo and Scooby-Doo and
when you think about it, Scream is just Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. You just put Velma still on the thumbnail.
Oh, God,
I did watch, because my girlfriend was watching the Mindy Project, and I watched an episode of the Mindy Project. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
Okay.
It was still not great,
good.
But it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. It was like, okay. It's like, it felt like knockoff Parks and Rec, And I was like, okay, cool, whatever. So.
All right.
But yeah.
That's good to know. Yeah. What are final thoughts on Quantumania?
Ants out of 10. I said this movie sucked. I wanted to say this movie sucked big ant balls. But it didn't really suck.
But it even didn't, because there weren't any ants in it.
No. So I said mostly. But yeah. I gave it a 2.5 out of 5 because I thought I liked it more than some other people, but it's more like a 2 the more I think about it.
I gave it a 2, I think. I'm of the belief that like a mid movie is worse than a bad movie. You know?
Yeah, that's
like
fair.
Especially an aggressively mid movie.
It's just when you're coming out of it, it's hard to give it that because you're always like,
Yeah,
then when you think about it,
the credits rolled and I was like, what happened? What?
Yeah,
I don't remember the movie because
just felt like
because so much of it was mush. That's the real. It's like it was all very CGI mush.
Yeah,
I did like the one moment where Catherine Newton, right?
Mm-hmm.
She goes, "Drink the ooze," and then he just goes, "What?" And there's
that was fun.
Cuts to the other characters. I'm like, okay, they're having fun with it. I want more of that. Then I feel like if you had MODOK as a main villain, you could have done more of that.
Yeah,
but because it was Kang, it had to be serious.
Yeah. Which, like, we all know the Ant-Man movies. Yeah, very serious movies.
And when Scott shows up and he's like, "Kang, I'm gonna fucking kill you," and I'm like,
I know. I was like. I was surprised. I was watching and I was like, wait, did I miss something?
Is this Scott Lang?
Wait, did I miss like why he's this mad? Like he has his daughter kidnapped, but it's like
fucking kill you, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
And Kang's just like,
he's like, we had a deal. I'm like, you did?
Yeah.
What?
When?
Like, it's not like this. It's not like you were like you knew he was evil.
Yeah.
It's not like you were horrifically betrayed by your best friend or something. I was just like, okay. I don't fucking remember anything about this movie.
It's a movie.
It's all mush to me.
It's a movie.
Yeah.
It's a movie.
When does Mario come out?
I don't know. I wanted it to come out Mario Day, but I don't think it's coming out Mario Day.
That'd be really funny if it did.
It should come out because Mario Day is a Friday.
No, Scream is Mario Day.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fast.
That's why I gotta crank out this fucking scripts because I gotta get the video out on March 3rd so I can fucking get the week of Scream hype before 6 comes out, and people are gonna be like, well, why didn't you review Scream 6 for this retrospective? So maybe I should just wait till Scream 6 is out so I can talk about it. I don't fucking know.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a movie.
Anyway, it's a movie. I don't fucking remember it. It's just I don't. I can't talk about it. That's why we didn't review it because I don't talk about it.
With Thor, I was actually mad. With this, I'm not mad. I'm just like, I'm not even disappointed. I'm just like, okay.
I can at least like remember what happens in Thor. I can at least like tell you like the main plot.
Yeah.
And this I can't.
Yeah.
I can tell you like a couple CGI scenes and that's it. Because also, why was Hope in this movie? Why was Hank in this movie? Why was even Janet?
Because they're contractually obligated to be in said movie.
There was no character arc for any of them. Nothing happened. They just sort of were there.
Hank shows up and he's like ants, and then Ant-Man's like ants.
Yeah,
and then Hank's
but he didn't
do
that enough. I wish he did that more.
I was waiting. I was waiting for one of these movies to make a reference to that promo. Just like a real dystopian, like we're going to include it in the movie now, and they never did. He just said ants. That's good, and that was it.
Ruined at least,
so I can still enjoy the promo on its own. So,
Ant-Man, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, featuring no scenes of the Wasp.
Yep. Movie.
Whatever. Yeah. Anyway, Scream 6 is coming out, and I'm so fucking excited.
Get excited. Yeah. I'm just the only thing I look forward to this year is Mission Impossible and like one Indian movie. That's really it.
I'm actually looking forward to the Dungeons and D&D movie. The Dungeons and Dragons movie.
I saw the new really thing coming out for it, so
it looks very, very fun.
In Game Night Guys.
Yeah, Game Night Guys. And I know you don't like Tomorrow War, but Chris McKay did the story, so.
Oh, okay, that's sure. Well, I'll be excited for that.
I'm into
the Fast and Furious 10 trailer was 4 minutes long. Did you watch that?
I did not, but I did watch Pete Davidson say, "I'm Mirage." That's what he said in the trailer for the new Transformers.
Is he
Mirage? The names.
Is he Mirage?
Yeah, he is.
What?
It's really funny.
I didn't know that.
Relax.
I'm gonna rewatch that to see if that's hear that his voice.
It's literally He's. I want to see.
I want to hear John Mulaney as another car in the Transformer universe.
I'm actually excited for that movie, and it sucks because I've been giving Charles a bunch of shit about being Transformers.
But you are excited for it, so there you go.
Yeah,
you succumbed. We didn't talk about the Flash movie trailer that much either, but
I don't have much to say about it. It's really funny that people just want Henry Cavill to fight Zod again, even though he did that in the first Man of Steel. I saw so many people like, "This is what we're getting, but this is what we really wanted." It's like that's just the fucking that's the movie you already have.
You got it 10 years ago. Go back 10 years ago and watch it again. Yeah, Michael Keaton's back and it feels so fucking soulless. Kissy lips,
kissy chapstick lips, and he is Birdman forever.
So I don't know. But they're all movies, I guess.
That's gonna be our catchphrase here.
It's the movie.
Yeah. It's the movies. Anyway, it's like 1 a.m, for you, so we should probably.
It is. I yawned like 5 times.
Yeah, you're trying to tell me something.
No,
this is longer than I wanted to go.
I need to do my laundry still.
Oh shit!
It's what it is.
It is.
It's a movie.
It's a movie. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching or listening. This has been Troy, Fanboy Talk, Mithi, Ant-Man, Ants. Oh, he walked away. Well, I guess this is my time to talk about Fortnite because that's what he does. I played a little bit of Fortnite recently with Doug and Keanu, and I have to say I don't particularly love the season. I think it got a little bit better, but
are you still recording? I thought you just end.
I'm talking about Fortnite.
That's good.
It's a bit. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Fuck it. Bye.